map. This has been the story. Kaboom has not been pushed off the turrets until they grab it. And the Nexus turret almost about to go down. Alliance has too much on their plate to consider. That's the fight. The control onto left. They are able to take him down. Danagorn. Oh my God! Alliance down.
Welcome back to the Mercedes-Benz ATK League of Legends Champion Series. Sorry we're a little bit late today, but just some team technical difficulties, struggling to
Bit of
get...
Duffy in the technical parts. Yep.
Yeah,
The jungle at least.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean,
Yeah.
tonight's series, a bit of a. I mean, I'd say it's a pretty close series. Player ranks not that different. I think Order of the Shadow perhaps having a little bit of an advantage, with slightly higher, having a couple of players in the low plat and high gold. And but it should make for a good series. I feel like both these teams have the potential to come out on top, which is exactly what we like. Close, quality series that can go to the third game.
Yeah, lovely. Some potential for some explosiveness there. And keen to see how it's going to go.
Yeah, so it's Order of the Shadow Origin versus Era Kronos. I think we've casted both these teams in the past at least once. I mean, we're in week 8 of the stage, so almost done with the initial groups, which is kind of exciting.
Yeah, I definitely recall casting Era Kronos. They were a team that we casted before. I'm pretty sure they were also actually a team that had an issue when we casted them last time. But this time
Was
they were
that the
perfectly
super
on
long
point.
delay? I remember we had one series.
Yeah, I think that was a stupid long delay where I think the one guy had like a lot of issues and actually went to another place to
Yeah,
play.
physically drove to his
I'm
friend's
convinced it
house.
was that team. I'm convinced it was that team, but I could be wrong. Definitely could be wrong. Just what I think it is, who I think it is. Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, I think it should be good. We should start in just a moment. Unfortunately, like you mentioned before, a little bit of delay. Players having again technical issues or just not being like pure in time. It happens. I'd rather wait at the start of a game and have a clean 40-minute match than have a long pause partway through. But speaking of pauses, let's jump quickly into the champ select and let's take a look at what the drafts look like for today's first game of the best of 3.
We're back. Yeah, cool. So as you can see, the first bands coming out here is going to be the Cassiopeia being banned out on the side of Era.
Cassiopeia was one of the go-to smurfing champions for the Shadow. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, their mid lane, the main player to watch out for. A lot of carry potential there, so he's one of the backbone, so can see a couple of these targeted towards the mid lane. As for Order of the Shadow ban, we have Tristana out of here, as well as Aphelios from Era in the second ban, I guess.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm seeing a lot of priority picks. Cassio makes sense. I think we did get some inside information that there is the on the side of Order of Shadow, that mid laner is apparently a very, very good mid laner. Meanwhile, we do see some Leona bans coming out, maybe focusing that bot lane of Era, not giving Kronos any chances. And another mid lane ban.
Victor.
Again, very scared of that mid lane. Orianna's still open, which is a great pick. So
About to mention that, yeah.
Yeah, and Hecarim with the nerfs is no longer existent in the jungle, but Udyr is still relatively high priority. What are some of the other junglers?
Kindred,
Morgana's still really good.
Kindred now popping up as well.
Kindred's really up, really high priority.
The issue with Kindred is that you have to draft priority lanes. You need winning lanes to pick that and make it viable. If you can get that, it's pretty free, however. So let's see what we go for. In this case, the first ban phase now done. Victor out of here, as well as the Thresh. So, any predictions on the first lock-in?
Lucian's open. I'd like to see Lucian, but it's a dream. We never see the Lucian in South Africa. But regardless.
Is that mid lane Lucian? Or what are you thinking?
Mid lane Lucian, yeah, it doesn't work ADC. Probably Orianna?
Oh, the Rammus, okay.
Well, I couldn't have guessed.
I don't know how I feel about that. First pick Rammus is the kind of pick you pick into AD heavy comps. Rammus, not exactly the best first pick, especially blind.
Yeah, but maybe they're just like, we don't want to blind at ADC or anything like that, so let's just blind pick the Rammus, followed instantly by the Twitch. Yeah, we saw Twitch on Sunday.
Are we thinking this is an AP Twitch? Is this ADC or was this support Twitch? The real question there.
Yeah, so on Sunday we did see that support Twitch on Unique, was it?
Yeah, I believe so.
But
Bit of a cheese.
not as good as it used to be. It was definitely quite a cheesy one with some early mid ganks. I didn't expect that to be mid lane. Probably going to be...
Ooh, I
Ooh.
like the Rumble lock-in. So Rumble kind of sneaking up in the last patch or two, really, really decent in the jungle. Haven't seen it yet debut in the SA scene, so perhaps this is that Rumble jungle, that the answer to the Rammus, which is going to be a really nice pick, because Rammus generally wants to be played into those on-hit ADC style junglers, or just heavily AD team comps, so that Rumble, plus potentially AP Twitch can work quite nicely in the favor of Order the Shadow.
Yeah. There's also quite a bit of flex potential for Rumble, as he is originally a top laner, and he is, well, really good in the mid lane actually at the moment as well. We've seen, so it's a very valuable flex pick, as we do get the bot lane confirmed here potentially, with Jhin being locked in and Pyke being hovered. How do you feel about this Jhin Pyke?
I think Jin's okay. I feel like Pyke could do really well into the likes of like Twitch, if whether it be support or lane
Agreed.
carry. So a lot of kill pressure, a lot of kill potential. The thing with Pyke is he's a very skill-intensive champion. You cannot afford to miss any of his abilities, or you break his combo when it comes to ranks like gold. Being consistent on skill shot, it's not a consistency. Like it's not a thing that you can expect out of a gold player. So a little bit of a riskier, harder to pull off. On the other hand, going for that Twitch Lulu combination, which tells us it would be AD Twitch, is a lot easier to play, a lot easier to pull off. Don't die, stay behind, and basically just scale to infinity and beyond. So I'm kind of liking the Order of the Shadow draft a little bit better so far, but it's recoverable. Let's see what Eric can do.
Yeah, and I definitely get. I'm thinking straight up, Lulu is just really good into Pyke, because that ulti is not a heal, but it does, no, it is a heal, or it increases your health bar temporarily, right?
It gives you extra HP, max HP kind of thing.
Yeah, which you can ruin a Pyke combo ulti really hard
well.
with that, and the polymorph as well.
Yeah. I was literally gonna say the polymorph is incredibly nice into Pyke. You wait for him to dash forward, suddenly you break his combo, and he's just standing there as like a chicken or like a cat or whatever skin you're running on Lily. So Lily quite a nice pick into that, but at the same time can be kind of tricky if you do get hooked, especially in the early stages. Pyke having a lot of damage with that hail of blades potentially. But looking at the second phase of the bans, holy Silas now locked or taken out as we wait for the final ban. Fizz, Lissandra, and Gnar. So there are a lot of viable mid lane picks still available, like you mentioned before, the Orianna. But it's gonna be the volley into Udyr switch. So we'll see which jungle we do get in this case. So it's not gonna be the Rumble jungle, but perhaps mid or top instead.
I think mid.
Sedge. Volley. We've
The
seen
volley's also
their,
flexible here as well.
we've seen his volley before. It's pretty good. It's not bad. So I like it.
Could also be flexed into the top lane. So I think that's the reason why you take the volley here. If you take like Udyr, you know it's gonna go jungle. With this, there's still a bit of uncertainty as to where the lanes go, and there's potential for some swaps. Like if you get a bad top matchup, you can always put in the jungle and you're fine.
Rise.
Yeah.
Locked and loaded. So the final pick to lock.
We've seen this one before.
Era.
I feel like we've seen this Rise before.
Yeah.
I do feel like these mid laners play very similar champions, and those are the ones we've seen by now. The Lissandra, I swear we've seen before. We've seen Cassius before. Victor, Silas as well. The Fizz is the only odd one out here, as we do get the last pick coming out here.
Ooh, the Urgot. We heard rumors of the Urgot being pretty decent on this era side, so if it's available, it looks like he will pick it up. Will it work? In this case, I'm feeling like they're a little bit AP like shy. If Rise doesn't come online, this era side comp may be a little bit of trouble. On the other hand, Order of the Shadow only really having the volley bear for tanks, so it's not too serious so far. But instead, it's going to be the Pantheon locked in. So is that? I'm still not entirely sure whether there's going to be a Rumble or Pantheon mid or top. In this case, I feel like the Pantheon would do really, really well into the Rise, having that really strong early game ability, just sort of running through Rise and Snowball, keep him down as fast as possible. And at the same time, I think Rumble has the tools to deal with this top lane Urgot, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, I think roles are a little bit of a mess right now. We're relatively confident of the ADC and support positions, but everything else is a little bit of a coin flip, because Rumble could be jungle, Volibear could be jungle. Although we're pretty confident Pantheon's either top lane or mid lane.
I feel like you don't really want to play the Pantheon into the Urgot. I think the Rise is your best bet for that one, so that'll be my guess. Pantheon mid, top lane, Rumble with the volley jungle. But we'll have to see what happens. Not entirely sure. Like, we don't know the players and the rosters too well from either of these sides. We have casted 1 or 2 of their games in the past, but you never know with lane swaps and player assignments. People and teams tend to kind of chop and swap as we get further into the tournament, seeing as we are already week 8 of 9. I mean, we've seen some interesting stuff. I'm trying to think, what was the biggest lane swap we've had so far in this tournament?
Yeah,
We had Telesaurus playing top at a point. Like I think that was one of the first weeks.
We did. Yeah, we also had a week where there was a bunch of subs in, and then other people were also playing different roles, and it was a very super interesting game. Yeah, I think people were on holiday or something. Not sure what
like
it was.
royalties.
Maybe it was Easter weekend. It was Easter weekend. That was it. That's what happened.
Royalties as well had a couple of swaps here and there. But yeah, I mean overall the tournament so far going pretty smoothly. I think I'm happy with it so far. And looking at the 2 comps, I think we're in for a really, really good game for the best of 3. So keep in mind this is only the first game. Has potential to go to the 3rd. Unfortunately, a little bit of a delayed start because of players running late and players just not having everything under control. So, but it happens. Right, so what are we thinking Casters Curse, dude? Are we going left? Is this an error side victory or is this an Order of the Shadow victory?
Order of the Shadow's victory. I don't know. I kind of believe in I feel like all around the comp is really good, whereas on the opposing side it kind of feels like there's a mid-game, late-game spike, but the early game spike is not there, you know? So it's Order of the Shadows game to throw. If we see this Pantheon go 0-5, yeah, you threw it, you know? Or and their mid-game is just as good, if you ask me, with the Rumble, the Twitch, Lulu, strong potential. Volibear's got a great mid game, so I think all eyes is pretty much on this Pantheon, and he needs to show up in this early game because the fact is that Pantheon rolls off a cliff in 20 minutes or so.
I mean, he kind of scales a little bit harder than he used to. There were a couple of patches back where there was a buff for Pantheon where they made his early game a little bit weaker, but he's mid-game stronger, so he does kind of scale, but like you said before, he does fall off a cliff at a point, so unless he can get that early game lead versus the like this Rise, there's going to be some serious issues. But like Twitch as well, Twitch Lulu scale is incredibly strong, so if they can get through this lane phase as well versus like this Pike versus this Jhin, that should be a pretty free victory for the other Shadows. So we'll have to see what happens there. Kind of couple of different win conditions. Overall, I think their team fight should be pretty strong as well, thanks to that Rumble Equalizer, plus the potential for that Twitch late game. So we should, like you mentioned, see Order of the Shadows sort of being the main, I guess, driving force behind this game towards the later stages.
Yeah, the only other thing I could think of is Lulu might not be a support. There's an argument for Lulu to be a solo laner, just by the way.
Lulu is kind of sleeper OP at the moment, especially in even the solo lanes, but I highly doubt that. I feel like this is just going to be that clean Twitch Lulu bot lane, because that's a little bit more predictable, a little bit more safe. So we do have to load into game in just a moment, so we'll join you guys shortly for game 1 of the best of 3. Good luck to each side.
I've seen wild, wild things.
And we're back.
Yo, we're back.
Yeah, game number 1.
Super keen and excited to be here. We have a really interesting one as we do kind of see everyone grouping up, getting out there. The Rumble looking for some trouble. Gonna not be in the jungle though, as we do have that Volley Bear in the jungle with the Rumble most probably in the top lane with that TP and Pantheon in the mid lane, as you call out against that Rise matchup.
Right, so we have actually Elgato looking for the lane swap, so we may just see the Rise going top instead in this case. So I'd like to try and match Rumble with Rise and Elgato with the Pantheon just to try and get through this early stages so they don't have too much of a snowball. We'll have to see what happens, whether we get some cheeky first base swaps or what the story is. But meanwhile, bot lane we do have a bit of a stack looking for the brush cheese. So it is Twitch, so he likes cheese. He's a mouse. In this case, he's got the what is that skin called?
This skin is Shadowfoot, I think.
Yeah, it's a very cute skin. I like it. It changes the voice lines as well.
Yeah. I'm a big Twitch fan. I think it's a really fun champion. But doesn't look like. See if we got the shenanigans in the bot lane. And yeah, this somehow Pantheon actually has prior in that lane. Super interesting.
I mean, Pantheon has incredibly strong level 1, so you've got to kind of respect that. Empowered W into the auto with the passive gives you for a lot of damage in that early combo. So we kind of discussed a little bit, we touched on that champ select bot lane matchup where Twitch really don't want to scale. If you let Pyke get the free hook, this lane is going to be incredibly volatile. And Era has that potential to sort of just run through them, and that's exactly what they need in this case because they've gone for that Halo Blades.
Oh, man.
They've gone for the Ignite. There it is yet again. Heisman flashing on the straight line. You cannot do that against Pyke, and he ends up burning the Summoner heal. On the other hand, Pendragon dropped pretty low and losing only Ignite.
Yeah, this is very disrespectful from the Lulu. It's just, I mean, twice in a row we're just seeing this like no respect for the damage of Pyke with Halo Blades. Like, she took a free trade right in the beginning of the game and stood in the open to get queued. Like, it's just you can't do that.
Just gotta watch positioning
in a Pyke lane. Yeah.
In this case as well, already burning both potions means that Lulu is incredibly vulnerable now. She's been hooked twice in a row. As the top lane, we can already see Ghost looking to bring the heat. Rumble dropping Rise down really low. So we do have the first blood auto attack. It's actually gonna get enough. He just straight up runs him through. He does not care. No summoners burnt.
And that's absolute disaster for the side of Era. You can't be losing the lane that you just swapped. Yeah. Wow.
Okay, so he does burn out in the teleport. So Rise now TP-less. A little bit of advantage top lane for Krusty and the Order of the Shadow Plays. We do have the bot lane. There it is. Heisman finally punished for the disrespect. And no more laughing coming out of Lulu as Rogue is looking to try to trade this over. He does find the one on his blitz bot lane. The flip is going to be there, but unfortunately just not having that damage.
He was just barely off cooldown on the Twitch there. Meanwhile, mid lane's going super low. Beautiful shield there, cancels a lot of damage.
Do we get the crit order? We don't. Hello, shotgun knee single with the mastery taunt.
Yeah, just barely surviving there. Oh, Krusty Ghost, you man!
He just teleport flashed in. That was a dangerous play, but it paid off. 2 kills for Rumble.
Wow, this Rumble's popping off though. Oh my word. Beautiful to see.
Rogue looking to go for the punish. Does end up finding Krusty, but there's no signs of Rise. He's not here yet. He's so far away. And Rogue just looking to try to zone Krusty the long way around. Says, no. You got some gold mid lane. He's not catching top wave as well.
Yeah, wow. Beautiful to see. I think that was very macro and map away by the Krusty Ghost on this Rise, playing beautifully. And yeah, he just needs to not die to this Rise now. And I talked about how important Pantheon is to win here, but as I talk about it...
Oh, 2v2, bit of a scrim in the jungle, mid lane. This Dane does come through, so Big is the main focus. He's going to be dropped low, force the flash out. Is he just able to get to them with a follow-through flash? The lost auto, it will not be enough. As Wonder Blitz the new focus, as he's disengaging as well, so nobody dies.
Yeah, but both flashes are burnt by this side of Order of Shadow, which is an absolute disaster. You want those flashes on those melee champions to be able to get those plays out And actually, slight misplay also, if you ask me, from the Urgot. I'm pretty sure he ordered a minion there instead of getting the kill
It's
on
the knees,
Pantheon.
it's those
He's on bot side.
automated shots. Sometimes you just can't control where and who it hits. Twitch there, see a shield from Lily. A lot of damage, a little bit of poke. Around Tantan, unfortunately, is ADC. Will it have it? But the Pen Dragon, the Pen Dragon 73. Yeah, it was Lulu first, but not Twitch. Paying the price, going for the greatest top lane. We do have the solo. Out of mana, but the final auto will be there as he does find himself the reverse solo kill. So that's a 2-for-0 shutdown. Handed it over to Rise.
Looks like you were right, Chibi. We have got a series and a game on our hands. Oh my word, just blood across the map as we have already got a total of, wow, just 7 kills happening in the span of 6 minutes. It feels like so intense here. Whew.
I mean,
the blitz
top was looking so good. Krusty had already won the lane. He got a solo kill top lane with Rumble. He got a second kill teleport flashy mid lane. That should have been Mott. Is that? I mean, how do we pronounce this mid lane Rise's name, dude? Mott Matil?
Mott Motal.
I'm just gonna go with Mott.
Matil.
So we had Mott in a really bad spot. It rhymes, so it has to be true. But then Krusty just kind of threw the lane back over. He had such a big advantage, and you just cannot afford to allow Rise to get that early game kill, because now he's basically getting gifted an opportunity back into this game to try snowball and scale towards that turbo late game Rise, the EQ man himself. And at this rate, it's just not looking good. We'll see, however, how it does play through as mid lane. Pantheon v Urgot. Pan's still in the lead, but again, he is one of those early to mid game champions, so he needs to try and look for something proactive with the level 6 he has. That hero's entrance, he has the ability to semi-global his way onto the lane, as we do have the trigger pull top lane. Krusty goes to take a lot of damage, brings through the flames and the fire, but misses the equalizers. One of Blitz is here, but look to try step out stage left. He does get away. The get out of jail free card.
Wow. Just really happy there. The equalizer not quite hitting where we were expecting it to hit. Maybe just trying to zone him from running up. But doesn't matter. Meanwhile, bot lane, Hydra gets super low, flashes away.
Pike looking for the solo. Halo Blaze kicking in. The last order's not going to be there. The shield is here. Heisman, flip over the shoulder. Curtain core finds one, finds two. Can he find a three? He can't find a taunt. A single track, working his way down, ends up gaining himself a free kill. So, I mean, realistically, this should not have happened, because Pantheon should have that priority, having that semi-global. As now Krusty is kind of losing majority of his health to try to defend a pink in the Rift Herald pit, as we do have Dragon started up on the other side by Era. So, looking for that objective trade. Never mind. Krusty needs to watch his health, as we do have yet again Rise coming through pretty big, but he will end up trading that 350 auto. The crit is real, and mid lane is the new focus, as the Dragon traded over as a result the Cloud for just a kill.
Yeah, I feel like it was going so... That's
Deadly.
a dead bubbles.
Rig, mid lane, single track looking for the disdain, disengage, he's trying to get away as Blitz. Ops the back away, but here comes the ram as the hop skip the jump. It's going to be a Rogue Destroyer looking to try and join in, but unfortunately does not find anybody for that, so just ends up losing his ult, which I'm not even sure how long is that cooldown now. I haven't really looked too much into the Rammus ultimate change.
116 seconds, so 120 plus minus plus whatever CDR he is running. I want to say similar. I don't think the cooldowns has changed much. It's just that the ult is a slightly different thing.
Now we can
Pretty sure
jump over walls.
Pantheon as well. Wait, he can jump over walls? Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, literally no longer laughing in this lane with that 3-0 Pike in the bot lane. Not even getting to clear that tri-rush board.
Something to note is that we've actually got the boots rush first on from Twitch. The top lane yet again, Krusty goes looking for the damage. He finds a lot of it as finally Krusty. I think he's able to catch as well. He does. The solo kill top lane with a little bit of pressure from Wonder just to make sure that he does not back out this time. So he got that get out of jail free card for an escape the last time. Now on cooldown, playing a little disrespectfully, not having that summoned flash means he's just gonna get run down. As for bot lane. Approaching that level 6 for Pyke, which is a big kill pressure condition for them. But unfortunately, oh, level 6.
Yeah, and also that's a really nice steal coming out by the Ramos. Actually, just being so aware that Wunderlist is on the top side of the map and picking up that free Gromp as well as a blue buff for himself. And Volibear isn't gonna check. He's just losing CS for a Herald. Rogue dodges the Q beautifully.
Like I said, like it's all about the skill shots, and in gold elo you're not consistently gonna land it, so it kind of takes away from the potential that there is in this matchup with the Pyke being able to find these hooks onto either Twitch or Lulu, which opens an opportunity to kill point.
Oof, Volibear is going bot side and his camps are gone. That's just sad there. He didn't even check the blue buff on the opposing side after getting that Herald. He's gonna be disappointed after he takes those wolves. And
the flash to stay in. DLB on death. Hello, come back to me. That Pantheon ult. I mean, he had the shield. He could have survived if he, I think, chose the right direction in that case. I'm pretty sure that's how the interaction works.
Yeah, you have to get the shield in the right direction. But I don't think it stops the Urgot pullback.
It doesn't stop the pullback, but if you... Oh, okay. I believe if you have it facing the right direction, assuming duration lasts, it does not kill you. Oh.
Not sure actually. I think you can. I'm guessing you can dodge the ultimate bullet coming in. That's my guess.
No. You get hit by it and you immediately cast the E when he looks for the pullback, and then your duration of the shield should last longer than the pullback, assuming he's close to you.
Right. I've never seen that interaction, but I believe it.
It's like a Tryndamere thing as well. Like obviously.
Or a Kindred thing. I've seen it with Kindred as well.
Yeah, but the issue with Kindred is that it pulls you off. So what you do with Urgot in that matchup is you basically make sure that you're off of the Kindred ult and pull him out of it.
Yeah.
Kind of
unless it's your teammate. I've done that sometimes accidentally, where I have a teammate Urgot and I'm trying to save my ADC, and then boom.
End up denying him his hard-earned kill.
2v2 in the top lane.
Taunt. Oh, Ghost doesn't even care. He pops the speed, but the hop is gonna be there. Rogue able to set up the kill and take it just as quickly. So top lane, like we said before, a bit of a volatile matchup, coming back and forth constantly, it seems, as it's currently 4 for 3 for 1 Rumble with that first completed item, the Mythic.
Ooh, TP behind the bot lane.
Double flash. It's gonna be Rogue already out of here as Heisman is a rest in peace, but it will be a bit of a back trade, a single, forced to teleport in to try and join for that one.
Pantheon has the ulti. He could kill this. He could kill Mark in the top lane. Actually, not choosing to, as we do get a TP out of Krusty Ghost in the top side, sticking in top for the tower.
So it's just prior to the plates dropping, 13 minutes 40 seconds in, so the Rift Herald brought through just to try to get as much as they can before the cash out point. Everybody looking to try and sell before the dip. Top lane, Rumble, looking to try and siege as well. Unfortunately, no turrets actually dropping in the first 14 minutes because we've just been constantly fighting, constant bloodbath across the map. Back and forth kills here, there, and everywhere. As Rammus, unfortunately not having ultimate available, looking for that taunt, trying to get to the backline, but hello, it's going to be Pyke! Yet again, finding himself an opportunity, as well as the team a cheeky kill, so that's going to be a little bit of numbers advantage. What do they do with it though? Drake available, as well as that first brick.
Yeah, really happy to see them starting up this dragon. And this Pyke is playing very, very beautifully. I honestly feel like this bot lane is getting slightly outclassed, to be honest, on the Order of Shadow side. As you can see there, Pyke just landing a beautiful Q here and clean follow-up. Also the macro from the just Era side.
Okay, Everfrost locks one in place, sends him back, saying no, Bear, I am not scared of you. Rumble not attempting to even try to walk up on that one, as we may just get the repeat gang top lane.
Yeah, with that honeycomb or honey fruits.
Right,
but there is a ward in this bush, so he is spotted.
He's got to get out of jail as well, so he has that one disengage from a gank, which he used before. Now off cooldown again, as we do have Volibear yet again reapproaching, as well as Ambiguous. Yeah, level 10. as that semi-global, looking to potentially try dive turret, as we do have bot lane siege. So something to keep in mind is that Pantheon shield was changed several months ago, where it no longer tanks turrets. As the dive does come through, but it doesn't even matter. The volley bit able to just turn the turret off as bot lane Rogue is looking to try pull damage, but unfortunately will not get that reset for Pyke. As next it's gonna be Lulu. Also gonna say no more laughing, but you will Heisman accepting his death, takes the double. So I mean, tankers, this comes down to the whole, if you're gonna make a play on one side of the map, play safe on the other. Communicated. Do not try play for victories on multiple points. Look for one entry point and have the other side play weak side.
Yeah, there was no reason for that aggressive plays on the bot side of the map. You literally, you don't even have to tell anyone. You should just look at the map and see, hey, there's 3 people top side. We have no numbers here. Let's not push this hard, or just take it back.
Yeah, like we see that top lane waiting for a 3-man dive. They sent a lot of resources. No signs of the Rammus, no signs of the enemy jungler. What does this mean? Play safe bottom, because you can assume Rammus is going to look for something to try and make up for that top lane attempt, and that's exactly what happens, and it happens on a consistent basis. You don't need to win it across the map, just take the small wins and lock them in.
Yeah, 100%. And Wonderbliss is having a rough time. He is being tracked across this map and down 20 CS at this point. We can also look at the gold difference. It's almost 4,000 gold right now over to the side of Era. Just them playing beautifully and mostly coming out of this bot lane as well as this mid lane on the Urgot. I don't know if this Urgot's mid lane or top lane, but
Lulu. Pendragon trying to decide if he wants to go in on this one. He has that opportunity to use the popcorn to get into the pit, but it's a bit of a dangerous game. You don't know. Does she have friends? Doesn't she? Mid lane, however. Battle of Crab versus half tank man. Equalizer placed, positioning to try and get Rise out of the fight as it does. Force the Zonia's coming through a little bit low at multiple members as Wonderbliss does come back. The fear beyond death from the flash forward means that the fleet will be there into the double. The Urgot is here at the knees, and they have shotguns attached to them. So that's going to be a bit of a win as Era looking to try re-engage, forcing the overgrowth. Lulu paying the price, ends up looking to try trade. Does Twitch finds himself that 1-for-1 as the shutdown's there, but Pyke saying hi, Pyke saying bye. X marks the spot. You're out of here.
Wow. Yeah, this is honestly just beautiful, beautiful plays by the side of Era here at this point. And I talked about it in Champ Select. You can't play Pantheon and then not be doing well. He was 0-1 at the stage and is 2-2-2 now, which is not exactly ideal.
Yeah, you need a snowball. I agree. Ooh. Single track, trying to defend the tier 2 turret as the Winions will not drop it, just a little bit left. So, I mean, single track almost actually paid the price of his life for that turret, as we do have Pendragon just trying to get away. Krusty on the chase. As the Everfrost is there, Volibear bringing through the smite as well as the lightning pause, but Pendragon having the flash says no, as the equalizer is going to be there. So, a little bit unfortunate as the bot lane.
1v1. Ooh. Wow, a level 11 versus a level 9. In what world does Twitch win that?
In a world where he has a Lulu attached to him. Solo, I don't know the quick
Lulu was
maths.
topside, what do you mean?
No, I know, I'm just saying that's like, if she is there, then they win that. But a 9 and a 9 makes 18 versus just 11. In this case, we're knowing Pendragon is dead.
That makes sense. Good math. Really good math. Yeah, and hopefully we should kind of see all of Shadows hovering over to this dragon. They've given up the first 2, and you can't continue to concede dragons, especially if you have the more early mid-game comp than the opposing side.
Big fight, but a breakout is going to be the entry point. Pendragon finds himself the hooker to rumble. Lulu with the overgrowth, but it will not be enough, as unfortunately Rammus is able to get the kill, which means Pyke does not have the reset on the ultimate. So Rogue in the brush, Lulu trying to pressure, forcing the push Lulu out as the flash taunt's going to be there, but there's no follow-up damage just yet. Rogue doing the best he can, but the return damage is going to be there. Rammus, on the other hand, Lulu trying to re-engage, as it's just going to be Era side victory for this team fight through and through. 5-4-0.
Yeah, I was looking really close there actually for a second, with Rogue just doing so much damage, but Rammus just destroys anything resembling an AD carry, and Twitch not having a good time there as they do pick up the dragon.
We're just in this awkward spot now where Ambiguous is starting to struggle with the rest. Rogue hasn't had enough time to really get to that point where he's able to sort of like 2v5 the rest of the airside comp, and they're paying the price of trying to force these fights when they shouldn't be. Like, just be aware of your win condition. This dragon is not important, it's only the third, you can give it up, but look to try and put gold onto Twitch instead, and play for that late game win condition of the Rumble plus Twitch Lulu late game T5 condition.
Yeah, it's a really tough one. Also, the Rumble overheated in that team fight, which means he was pretty much doing no damage and was silenced for quite a bit of it. Talking about just chilling and waiting for late game, not happening.
Ike finds the X, but he doesn't have the damage. Wonder Blitz ends up going down. Rogue Destroy yet again. 5 for 1 for 9 Rammus. This is not where you want the gold, but gold is gold. As we do have the fight continuing. Jen finds the next one. Twitch is not dead. Rat is gone. Single track. These legendary statuses, we do end up getting the pick. Rise finds himself that Everfrost into the jump, the pop, the taunt, the Rogue destroyed.
Wow. Just beautifully played.
It's again an unnecessary fight, and as a result, Era just being funneled so much cash into their carries, and it really is not an easy spot for Order Shadow to come back from now. This is back-to-back team fight loss, as we do have the Baron now secured. So this objective should allow for Era to sort of put on a little bit more heat, put on a little bit more pressure, and potentially start taking some tier 2 turrets.
Yeah, ooh. Man, and this gold lead is just getting bigger and bigger. And the unfortunate thing is, like, Urgot is great when he scales up. So is Pyke, so is Jhin. Like, I feel like you have slightly less scaling just because of the Pantheon. And the Volibear also drops off a little bit, to be honest.
All it takes, though, is one really nicely placed equalizer to break these team fights. So the potential is definitely there for Rogue, or sorry, for Krusty and Order the Shadow, if they can find the right fight with the entry point from behind for Twitch for like a flank. But like what we said before, the carries are just getting so much gold. Like, it's gonna get to a stage where Rise is just able to one-shot the Twitch Lily with an EQ.
Yeah, and this Twitch just doesn't have enough gold or enough levels. A whole level down to his counterpart in the form of Deadly Bubbles. And yeah, I feel like honestly, Heisman and Rogue need to respect a little bit more in this bot lane. Respect when they're weak side. Ooh, that's a dead Wonder Blitz. He's not gonna make it out of
Rogue is pretty low as well. He has flash, ends up jumping the wall, but finds the Pyke instead. He's not getting away.
He's jumping walls to find more people.
He's standing in positions that are looking for engages. Flash plus that Fear Beyond Death means 3 more kills, and that's gonna be
the game.
Yeah, like, you have to keep in mind that Era have just picked up Baron, so if you lose a fight, you take the risk. You're gonna lose a lot for it. They have that siege potential. Twitch is doing the best he can try to deal with this Rogue. Looking to actually pick up some kills. He finds the first, he finds the second. So a little bit more gold on a Twitch at least. But it's just too big of a risk. You should not look for that Wonder Blitz play. He was in the wrong spot. And as a result, the inhibitor at least gonna be dropped. And the rest of the team rotate a potato.
Straight to the top lane. Hoping to get that tower down. They should be able to get this. Yeah, the question is, do they stay or do they back here? The wise choice is to just back now, spend your gold, don't get greedy, and yeah, do some damage to the top side of the map.
I mean, they have a 13k gold lead. They just picked up a lot of objectives, a lot of turrets, a lot of waves. That means they can back, spend the gold, and look to try and use that item advantage to close out the game. The issue here is that they just gave 2 shutdowns over to Twitch. Twitch is not exactly a player that you can afford to get free kills, and up to this point was looking pretty good in terms of the Era game plan. But now, funneling that gold onto both Twitch and Lulu means that the potential for the Order the Shadow flank, Order the Shadow picks is a little bit stronger, as basically the only real game plan for Order the Shadow is to try and just get as much items, as many gold, nope, that's wrong, as much gold as many items onto the Twitch and try to look for that potential flank delete.
Yeah, but it's so difficult as a Twitch in this game because you can't delete an Urgot, you can't delete a Rammus. Rise is also hard to delete because of how much shielding and like phase rush he has. So your hopes is the bot lane, and Jhin does quite a lot of damage, and so does Pyke. Like
Infernal Soul as well. Yeah, like I have to agree with you on that one. Like Rammus is perfect for this case. The Rammus was actually first picked, but it ends up working quite nicely into this card because I mean, if you can get onto the Twitch, he's kind of gonna go pop. He's squishy. He has high damage output, but he doesn't do well with an OK to the face. And in this case, Rogue Destroyer New Rammus has that gap closed, the yeet across the screen, which makes it even harder for the Twitch. Unfortunately, yet again, it's going to be a Wonder Blitz caught off in the wrong spot. He's got no friends, or not enough of them at least, as Rogue Destroyer finds himself that second one. Krusty Ghost is out of his rise, actually deleted Rogan. Decent spot for the initial entry, but unfortunately does pay the price. And that is going to be majority, if not all of Order of the Shadows damage now done, as Ambiguous just looking to try and get as far away as he can, but it will not matter. So it just looks like the Aeroside team victory yet again, back-to-back-to-back T5 fights.
Yeah, and again, it was just Rogue just got caught in a really rough spot and just died for it, to be honest. Trying to kill the Rise there. Ooh.
That's enough laughing out of you, Lily. Single track saying, no, 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 no. Alright, so we should have that first game done and dusted. And it looks like, yeah, Era looking incredibly strong.
Agreed. Definitely agreed. So we're back, and then let's just maybe like recap and think a little bit about this game. I'm really surprised at how this turned out. I had a lot of hopes in this Pantheon, and uh, that lane swap maybe being very important, as well as just kind of just some balls being dropped. Rumble did super well, got the kill in the top lane, and then absolutely messes it up in the mid lane. No, he gets a kill in the mid lane as well with a teleport flash, and then goes back top side, gets bullied out by the Rammus, and then dies on the tower, and suddenly like Rise that was out of the game is back into the game. It just just the little things, and I honestly do feel like we can check the match stats and look at the performance.
Okay, so I mean, we saw at the start of the game we had Rumble coming through pretty clutch. He made for a very cheeky first kill at the top lane, the solo kill into the mid lane TP flash, picking up the second one there as the trade-off. So Rumble was in a really good spot to try and win this game, or at least for his team, but it just didn't work out. The win condition wasn't there. Honestly, I feel like they should have played through bot lane. They should have tried to play for the Twitch Lulu, as that was their best bet into towards the late game stages as well. Plus, having that Pantheon, having the ultimate available, means they could have pumped a lot of attention into that bot lane and made sure the snowball worked out. Rumble was in a good spot. He had found himself kills. In this case, they tried to play for top lane. It didn't really work out. We had a very nicely played Rise by Mott, looking to try just basically play safe, get out of as many of the ganks as he could, and that's exactly what he did. So, honestly, I'm thinking maybe Rise for MVP of the first game.
Yeah, definitely. And honestly, I just feel like the volleyball let the team down. I don't know if you saw damage shots there, but that was actually less damage than Lulu on the volleyball. Just a bit yikes. A bit unfortunate.
You never got the opportunity to really participate in this game, unfortunately. Every gank attempt was matched with a ward or an unsuccessful gank. So, I mean, it's definitely not his fault in particular, but definitely something to work on potentially in the future, because we had a couple opportunities that were looked for where you really shouldn't have. For example, just after that Baron had dropped, looking to try and take that fight immediately after is just too high a risk, especially if you can't guarantee the fact that fight is going to be a victory, because you're going to lose a lot versus a team that has Baron. So just double down on making sure that that is the correct call in the future.
Yeah. Agreed. And again, like not even having the vision to know where everyone is happening. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll be back for the second game in just a moment.
Welcome back. We're back here for game number 2 after Era took game 1 in relatively convincing fashion with the likes of a Rise, and we had a Rammus that was performing very well, as well as a beautiful bot lane combo in the form of Jin Pike just getting a lot of pressure, and Urgot relieving a lot of pressure in the mid lane against that Pantheon matchup because they swapped the mid and the top. And as such,
Was banned. No, he's gone. He's gone at this stage. Bad joke. Right, so like you mentioned, the Cassiopeia plus got taken out. So Cass again, mid lane, one trick. Not really one trick, but main rather. So they're not going to let that through at all. Just starting yet again banned, plus the Rammus is taken out this time. So do you feel like they're going to go for something again very similar with the Twitch, the bot lane sort of hyper carry plus Lulu? Or do you feel like they're going to change it up, seeing as that Rammus ban did come through?
I think first pick the mid lane. What happened to Orianna prior? I'm genuinely curious. The Pantheon just was a bit of a hit or miss for me. I was happy to see the Rumble. I like how flexible it is, but maybe now that they know that it's probably going to be top lane, it might not be as strong as a pick, but was performing very well.
Oh, Master
Wow.
Yi.
It's been years.
I can understand the Rammus ban now.
Yeah, maybe that's what the Rammus first pick was for. Maybe they were expecting that Yi to come out, and then they saw the Rammus.
The thing about Rammus Yi is that a lot of the time Rammus actually cannot really deal with the Master Yi. If Yi gets free kills, especially in the early stages, Rammus just becomes another squishy target with that true damage. So I mean, it's not even that great of a pick into it, the Yi, assuming Yi is not gifted free kills. So in this case, it's going to be yet again going for the volley. They're locking down, they're doubling down on it. South Africa loves their Lissandra mid lane, not entirely sure why, they just do, and we have exactly that picked in, but yet again can also go to top lane, so something to keep in mind. Not necessarily locked in for purely the mid lane.
Yeah, although it does make a lot of sense. Point and click CC is exactly what you want against Master Yi, and that is something that Lissandra does provide. Morgana saying point and click CC doesn't work if I have a shield.
Kate plus Morg plus that Black Shield combo with the Master Yi, kind of scary. I mean, it's not unfortunately going to be the Morgana jungle that we're looking forward to seeing at some point, as we do have the Yi locked in, unless of course it is a Master Yi lane, which I would not recommend. You mentioned Lucian earlier, we have that Hover plus Kai'Sa plus Ashe, so you're kind of just trying to decide what do you pick into this Caitlyn Morgana matchup. Very aggressive bot lane combo. You get hit by the binding, you're gonna get completely destroyed by Caitlyn and her combo. Her traps placements are pretty much a free guarantee, so you gotta be very, very careful with what you do draft for the bot lane.
Yeah, also Order the Shadow had a rough lane previously. That was the Lulu Twitch that was not having a great time, so definitely a very different direction that we're seeing here. The Lulu Twitch not having quite as much potential in the early game, whereas the likes of Caitlyn Morgana is very, very strong early game champions. And yeah, the Jhin is a great answer though, so I'm happy to see that. I think Jhin actually just really outpaces in the mid to late games because of how much damage he outputs. And if you're not ahead or even on the Caitlyn, you just feel like you don't do anything compared to how much damage Jin tends to do with those fourth shots and ultimates. Yeah.
Right, so we do have the Darius as well as the Orianna ban, so perhaps listening in a little bit, just making sure that it's not available, as we have been complaining about the lack of the Orianna in this case, now taken out, as well as the Victor, so Cassiopeia, Ori, Silas, and Victor all focused towards the mid lane, with one ADC ban with the Aphelios, so we can just see how much priority Era is placing on keeping this Order of the Shadow mid lane down.
Definitely, I totally think that is exactly what we're seeing here, and the last ban should surely follow. What is it gonna be?
Wonder
No
Blitz,
ban?
the Mordekaiser. Okay, I mean, kind of interesting. Mordekaiser
Like-
very nice into the Volibear, I guess, even though it probably will be Volibear jungle, and
Insta locked. Well,
like not an easy matchup.
I mean, it
Morgana.
worked.
Black
It is not an easy
Shields.
matchup, but it worked last game. So
You gotta keep in mind as well that the Master Yi potential. Master Yi not exactly. Wait, is that lane Yi Viego jungle? Is that gonna be Viego mid lane? With okay, yeah, I think it's mid lane Viego.
yeah, I mean, we did see Rumble top lane.
So I think Cho'Gath, especially AP Cho, kind of underrated right now. So I'm really liking the Cho'Gath lock, and despite the fact that there's no center attached to that, Cho is still a very viable option.
Yeah, I do kind of wish that's something I just realized. Senna is open, and Senna's
Yeah,
pretty good opportunity for me into Caitlyn Morgana. Why not just take Senna Cho and sustain through the lane and be a happy person 10, 15, 20 minutes later? No?
hear me out, right? Top lane Lulu, scrap the Cho'Gath, put the Lulu in the solo lane, and just play through that Master Yi. Look for the flash shield, look for the enhance. Basically, make Master Yi unkillable towards the late stages. So I'm kind of liking the set into trying to deal with the Master Yi. I don't know how I feel about the Pyke though. Like we said before, we saw Pendragon play Pyke pretty well last game, but now this becomes basically 10 times harder. Suddenly there's a Black Shield to negate that CC, as well as a Master Yi who's incredibly fast, has his Q, he can get out of your potential CC quite easily. So it's going to come down to Pendragon finding the right opportunities, and does he have it? We'll only find out with time.
I mean, the craziest thing for me is that Auto Shadow has two Yis basically. Viego is the new Yi. It's the same thing. You auto a lot, you do a lot of damage. The ult is even more busted. Yeah, and there's no Rammus, so what are you gonna do?
I think Lissandra at pickup is actually really good as well. I think Lissandra is one of those champs that does deal with Master Yi pretty well. She has a lot of CC, a lot of lockdown, point and click stun. You can't exactly miss Lissandra ultimate, so I mean it is a go-to.
You
Counter?
can actually. You can hit yourself when you're not trying to, but it's not likely.
So yeah, I mean, on the other hand, is that Order of the Shadow have a lot of go-to if the Master Yi dies. I mean, like you mentioned before, they have that Viego, they have the bot lane combination, super strong combo, the Caitlyn Morgana, plus this late game scaling Cho'Gath, which is going to be a tyrant in itself. So I'm honestly liking the Order of Shadow draft for game number 2.
Yeah, agreed. I think this draft is looking very clean. I like the Caitlyn and the Morgana. Honestly, I think both teams' drafts are pretty good though. The only question mark for me is a Set. Although Set did get a buff, I want to say this patch or last patch, to increase his damage. I think because he isn't as flexible as he used to be, and so they were willing to give him some buffs. I think his damage is higher 80 ratios or something on 2 or 3 of his abilities. So probably not a bad matchup. Yeah.
A lot of potential. So, I mean, there's always the opportunity here to flex the Pyke into solo lane, as well as put Set bottom and support. I'm not really that big of a fan there. I feel like Set support is something that needs to be well practiced. It's not a pick up and play champion. It's not a champ you just play because it's good into this combo, into this matchup. It's the kind of thing you have to practice. A lot of very key opportunities need to be used, such as that Hex Flash flank. So I would not recommend that in this case, so I'm hoping it's the stock standard era draft with Lissandra mid lane, Pyke, Jhin bottom, Set top, and the Volibear jungle. But overall, Caster's Curse, are we going with the 2-for-0 era series, or is this going to be getting us to game 3 tankers?
Damn, I think if this goes late game, it's 100% Order of Shadows game. But I have hope, and I believe that this somehow era pulls us off and makes it a 2-0.
Okay, I mean, only time will tell. Best of luck to both sides, and we'll see you guys shortly on the other side.
Welcome back to game number 2 of the series, where we have the Order of Shadows versus Era Kronos, and Heiserman laughing a lot on the Lulu, but not having a great game number 1, hoping to maybe make a turn and turn the tide as we actually do get a quick pause going out.
Alright, so I believe the support having issues with connecting to the game, so or something along those lines. You can see Pike not yet really spending any gold, so he's still in the fountain, as we do have a bit of that technical pause. But it seems like that we're good to go. The players already, so it's just a small one, luckily enough. I mean, we've had some pretty drastic pauses so far in the tournament, one in particular, so this one not really going to be that bad, luckily enough, as we do have Deadly Bubbles, the solo adventure, just looking to try to hold down potential invaders. We do have 5-man stack out of the shadow, looking to try push through, as Pendragon still having that moving speed late from base, allows for the ward to be placed. It rhymes, so it must be true. And Kaelin looks like she's drifting. Pretty cool skin.
Yeah, what a sick looking skin, honestly. And yeah, I think last game I mentioned that eyes were on the Pantheon in the mid lane, had to show up, had to make things happen, and it didn't go quite as planned. This game, eyes are on the bot lane. Rogue and Heiserman need to show up, and
Yeah.
they were definitely not looking super strong in the first game, but they need to show up today because that is what their champions want to do. Ambiguous.
Bit of a face check, 1v1
You don't win
top
this.
set. The knockup's going to be there. Ambiguous. Not too sure if he wants to go for the extra auto, as the pullback will be brought through. Rogue destroying on the other hand, looking to go for some horizontal jungling. So, I mean, something to keep, vertical. Something to keep in mind is that Master Yi is the kind of champion.
Wow.
Pendragon committing big for that attempt to steal, burns the flash, but doesn't actually end up getting the buff. So that's already gonna be Era down a summoner. So what I was trying to say is that you've got to keep in mind that Master Yi is a farming jungler. He wants to just try to clear his camps. He wants to full clear. On the other hand, Volibear played in a lot more of a tempo, gang-centric playstyle. So we should hopefully see a little bit more out of Rogue Destroy this game. He didn't have the greatest success in the first game's attempts at gang, so he's gonna need to push a little bit harder this one and try and get a lead before Master Yi is able to come online.
Yeah, so actually one of the positives that I'm really happy to see is that came out of that invade is Master Yi is now on the bot side, and we've got the split map, which is really great because you want this Morgana and Caitlyn to have a split map where they have the jungler on their side of the map and they have no threat of a gank coming in because Volibear is on the top side not on the bot side.
Alright, so
So,
I mean, naturally
really
we
good to see
should
that awareness.
see Order of the Shadow bot lane having priority in this case.
Beautiful
Nice
binding.
little, yeah, nice little cheeky binding. A little bit late in the trigger with the trap, unfortunately, so the combo is going to be broken down. But like I was trying to say is that we should see Order of the Shadow having the priority in this bot lane matchup where they should get shoved quite easily and keep Deadly Bubbles farming under turret, which means he should naturally just fall further and further behind, as we do have plates secured for RNG Rogue.
Oh, Heisman's not dodging any of these pikes. He really needs to be aware of this bone skewer and not take this one. He's gotten hit by 2 of them. Mid lane, close fight going on here.
Damage, both chunked up pretty hard. We do have the flash, auto ignite. That's both summoners down, but Blitz just not able to really get there for too much of an assist. Maybe just a lane shove, make sure the wave crashes under turret, as we do have Lysandra resetting. But something you might is that they have TP. No, Rogue pull to the turret as the first blast going to be there. That is not good for the Auto Shadow bot lane. You cannot allow for error to get in this early, and it's going to be exactly that. Morgana, Caitlyn not having the communication. That Morg is back and off. You need to respect it. So Caitlyn ends up dying with both summoners as Master Yi now looking to try to find himself that entry point into this game. Unfortunately, Pendragon just not really going to go down. So the Black Shield burnt as well as Summoner plus... Yeah, Summoner heal plus Flash. So, I mean, Air bot lane, definitely a little bit more vulnerable.
Yeah. Top lane. Getting super close, but not going to be quite enough damage. Both top lane is very, very low though. And Master Yi is quite behind actually, I want to say, this trade. I'd have to check the scoreboard.
We've had...
Yeah, of course he is down actually.
We've had 2 Master Yi gank attempts already, and a jungler that likes the power farm. On the other hand, Rogue Destroyer is playing more of a Master Yi playstyle where he's just going for the power farming. So it's kind of Master Yi not really having any success with his attempts at, like, I guess he's holding himself back with the hopes that he can double down and get some form of gold lead and start snowballing.
Yeah. Ambiguous. Does get the silence out. The lane. Nice stun coming out there. Just everything balancing on a knife's edge here, as we do see Set looking to maybe get some vision on the blue side jungle.
Both top laners still sitting on the TP, so they have that reset as Pendragon's to level 3, looking for the mid lane attempt. Crusty Ghost should start to play a little bit more aggro, but the undertow means that Pendragon's going to be showing up and Ghost just quite easily able to get away. Unfortunately, level 5 to 5, so no ultimates yet unlocked. Yeah, I was literally about to say is that those bone skills have been working out nicely so far this game.
Oh no! Oh no!
You hate to see it. Does he get the dragon? He does not. He goes down with smite slap. Oh no, that is not what you want. Rogue in the hat. Oh, it's pain. That is the issue with going for Drake with no priority. Bot lane hadn't shoved the wave under as Rogue Destroyer now looking for the first attempt to mid lane, but unfortunately Lysandra completed that. That means that it will be a 1v1, and Volley is still level 4, so he's kind of squishy. He needs to be careful.
Oh!
Krusty.
Wow,
Lysandra?
what a champion.
Oh, okay. Traded over. It's still worth.
Just... Wow, Krusty's happy with that trade, to be honest. Bot lane, bone skewer lands, stun coming out.
Oh, nice binding.
Is denied with the black shield, and the binding is there. Ah, he hates these bot lane getting behind though, and
Something. Carry on, sir. Something I don't really know how I feel about is the fact that Caitlyn's gone for Cull in this matchup. I feel like this is a matchup where you want to try push as hard as you can and try and snowball and keep Deadly Bubbles behind. You have a lot of early game tempo with Caitlyn plus Morgana. You have that shove. Going for the Cull is kind of just saying I'm looking to try to do a bit of both, which is not exactly ideal. A little bit late on the Black Shield, unfortunately, as the fight does continue.
I think the black shield was just to stop if the undertow comes through.
Yeah,
and
but that's too late.
looking for another bone skewer. Ooh, taking so much damage. He's gonna fall.
Forces someone to flash out the final cast, the auto attack, the follow through, the ignite, the DPS. It's not enough just to be able to survive.
Just barely making it out there. Pendragon playing on the edge. Meanwhile, top side, that is an ulti on the ambiguous. He does have that potential for a nom. Mid lane gang comes out. He looking for something.
Brilliant. She has the soft ult. Doesn't actually go for it actually. Instead, Nasty finally getting that successful gank that he was looking for. We've had multiple attempts, but up to this point, no luck, as he does end up walking straight into the enemy team. 2v1, and that's going to be Wonder Blitz finding himself the first kill for himself, but may just pay the price as Deadly Bubble's not joining the fight. So Jin going to be the player that does end up picking it up. Unfortunately, the fight not done yet for Order of the Shadows. Viego looking to do as much as he can, ends up dying. So, I mean, looking at the gold chart, it's 1,000 gold difference between the two sides at 8 minutes. This point last game, we had at least a 3 to 4k gold lead.
Yeah, definitely feeling a little bit closer here. Top lane is going toe to toe, flashing out of that haymaker, just refusing to take the true damage. Not looking to clean up here with the ulti. Oh, flash. Both flashes went in the top side. Whew, this mid matchup is feeling, I mean, this top matchup is feeling so toe to toe, dude, honestly.
So support roaming up, Pendragon still 5, means he has none of that death from below available, which makes the kill potential top lane a lot less. Pendragon, we've seen him get him a couple of those undertow plus burn skewer attempts, but no time lost as Jin left to try 1v2 bot lane. Massive wave, they potentially could look for a dive here. He has only flash. Trigger pull on the death, on the binding, not gonna be connecting, unfortunately, as well. Caitlyn Rogue doing the best that he can to apply pressure, but they're just gonna get plates as Pykedon makes his way back through from the top side. So you've got to be very careful with these roams. I like to see that Pyke is trying to play proactive, but you have to make sure that you can get something off of it, because this is a pretty big Order of the Shadow victory, at least for the gold charts in the bot lane.
Yeah, the bot lane is going to be very happy to have that freedom and ability to move around. We do have the Master top side, and Navigo is looking for a fight here on this minion wave. Haymaker getting super stacked up.
Pops gotta go fast. A single track in a really bad spot in the Alpha Strike, enough as Order of the Shadow able to find themselves 2 kills, 1 top, 1 bottom. No, you're too close for that curtain call, friend. But it looks like it does not matter, as it was just merely a distraction. It's gonna be Mott now joining, as they do end up finding themselves the double. So Error, bottom side victory with the Order of the Shadow top side victory.
Diego smells Alessandra in the river.
Goes where he pleases. He finds the stun. Mott still has that soft glacial prison as he uses the popcorn to get away. Does he survive? He doesn't even need it.
That's a dead Krusty.
Oh no, Krusty Ghost, where have you gone to, friend?
You got outplayed by the popcorn. It is what it is. Yeah, that's 2 times now where Krusty has been 1v4ing or 1v3ing and almost gets 1 or 2 kills, and it's just his bot lane is either dead or on a reset. It feels really bad for this Viego mid, who is really trying to get this team ahead.
It just feels like Aeroside comes together nicer. Their communication seems better. They're constantly looking to try and play off of each other, and Order of the Shadow kind of just being left behind, as we do have the top lane attempt. So keep in mind that they have Shelly. Wonder Blitz is sitting on Rift, so we should get some sort of top lane attempt to the turret perhaps coming through off of this play, as majority of the other side are bot lane, so it would be a free objective. But keep in mind though, top lane, Mr. Cho'Gath not really having any mana, so potential for outplay is definitely there for that 1v2 situation.
Mid lane going toe to toe here.
Oh my, the orders, the combos, the damage, forcing the flash out as Shelly finally finding that dash to the turret. Unfortunately, no first objective, no first brick. Black shield, beautifully played. Pendragon looking to try to bait it out as Heisman is the new focus. They're switching it through and it works out like a charm. So Pendragon, knowing the matchup, knows he has to wait for the black shield to drop before looking to try and switch focus. In this case, Rogue may just pay the price as well. The final auto not there, but the curtain call, as he has the feet, as he has the fancy. Oh, Jin has no idea where he is.
No vision. Yeah. Diego coming in here, hoping to clean up that Jin curtain calling, and not their most ideal place for the second time.
Ooh,
Does
something
have a
here.
heal. Oh no!
Krusty's having just
Krusty's
no
not happy.
success.
Wait.
Oh no.
No,
I take
that's
it
a happy
back.
ghost.
I take it back. Krusty goes huge.
Beautifully playing it out on that Pike. Top lane duel continues. Ambigo's trying to catch every bit of this wave.
I was about to say that Krusty has been given so many opportunities to try and find kills, but he's having no luck with, I don't know, Air just able to outplay on a consistent basis. But in this case, Krusty finally finding the winning ticket. He goes big with that 1v2 turnaround, and Lissandre's a little bit too late on the rotation to try and catch him out.
Yeah, I think Krusty's been playing very, very well. Honestly, he's kind of been let down a little bit by the team. There's been a lot of occasions where if the bot lane was there for the roams and the 1v3s were 3v3s, where this could have been even more bloodier than this game has been. But again, restraint is a very important thing to know. So
Limitations.
also
That's the
sometimes
name of the
wise,
game.
yeah.
Knowing how far you can push.
2 more call stacks on that Caitlyn.
Big cash out. Finding.
Ooh.
Get trap placement. We
Onto
do
the
a lot of
fight.
ace. Ooh, a lot of headshots. There's the combo that we spoke about. That Morgana Caitlyn potential output damage. And we get exactly that.
Yeah, it's just very hard to survive that. The binding lands, you're gonna get chain CC'd.
Oh no.
Volley bear,
Turret
tower
gets turned
diving.
off. Blue side TP looking to try and join a little bit late. Heisman not too sure who he wants to go for. Ends up breaking all the black chains. Or the undying chains as the self ulti glacial prison. Looking to try to do as much as he can, but unfortunately not going to find the damage on the Heisman, but does end up taking the volley for the trade, but it's not done yet just yet as Era look to try and get their way out of this one.
Ambiguous doesn't know and just picks up that kill. Meanwhile, Krusty on the bot side picks up a kill. And top, that's a dead Yi.
We spoke about this in the first game. There's constant fighting across the map. There's no weak or strong side. It's just a bloodbath. We see potential kills, we go for them.
Yeah. Very entertaining series to watch, definitely. Maybe not the most restrained players on either of these two teams. Constantly looking for the next kill.
That will be first brick at least. That's 15 minutes and no extra plate gold for it, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, indeed. Meanwhile, top lane, same thing. We've seen this a few times now. Just some fists and mega big mech.
I was waiting to see where you're gonna go with that one. Oh, hello, Pendragon.
Meanwhile, Caitlyn going into the depths there on the other side of the map.
See what you did there. This is Pike.
Yeah.
I doubted the Pendragon Pike, but he's been playing it really nicely
Beautiful
this
dart
series.
finding.
As Blitz just trying to do as much as he can to get out of this one. Pops. Ooh, actually pops himself, it seems. Whilst the down is Krusty able to find that first mid lane kill, so there will be a bit of a neutralize as the W flash comes through. Red side TP coming through from the side, looking to try and join as Deadly Bubbles. The reposition is going to be there. Krusty ends up paying the price in the form of a death as he's going to pick him up. He's going to put him back down, but in this case, it's going to be air side victory for the team fight, and that should be Drake number 3 secured.
And it's the same thing. We've seen this play multiple times before. Order of the Shadows just getting too aggressive on these dragons. Oh,
not able to get him into the pit, unfortunately. Oh, volley goes over.
Oh, volley man.
Rogue Destroyer. Bye-bye.
That's tragic and wow. Yeah, like I was saying on that dragon, it's the same thing. We've seen this play before. Order of Shadows just not getting any dragons. Suddenly you have 2 dragons, and then you fight on the 3rd dragon, even though the team isn't quite on the same page. People are dying left, right, and center. Someone's getting caught. It's not just the macro is not where we would like to have it be. And yeah, you're just playing better as a cohesive unit. There we go. English.
Well-oiled machine.
Yeah. Wow.
Hogs in a machine. Mid lane, Krusty. Pendragon looking for some Look at some cheeky attempts at a flip. I mean, it was a literal stab in the dark.
Definitely bone skewering line there. As
So we're still waiting for the Master Yi to get the gold. He has first mythic item completed, but keeping in mind that Rogue is sitting on 2 items just to show how far ahead Rogue Destroyer Volley actually is in this case. So I mean, Master Yi, we had him going for a couple attempts, no real success. Same with Crusty Ghost. And I guess Era just doing it really nicely in terms of just keeping down Order of the Shadows win conditions.
oh, that binding barely not in range there. Heisman is a little bit in dangerous territory here. And, Ambiguous fancies himself a taste of it.
So what is Wet Noodles as we do have the trigger pull coming through mid lane. The Wonder Blitz finds himself the first, but ends up paying the price. I mean, honestly, it's not the worst. Unfortunately, the Rift Herald was on Master Yi, so they will not get the second charge through here as Heisman forced to pop the Zonias that he's invested into really early, but it seems like he's just not able to get away. And that's going to be a pretty big back and forth as Caitlyn now the new focus. Pendragon for the chance CC is there, but Heisman, oh sorry, Krusty pulling the damage from the shadows. That's going to be now Pyke dead, but Pyke reincarnated in the form of Krusty himself, but it does not matter. Big Bear goes boom, and Rogue goes bye-bye with a flash forward into that double. Nicely played, Rogue Destroyer.
Wow. What can we say about that fight? Heisman gets caught right at the start of it. It's a rough one.
This entire time though, we've had top lane just turrets being punched in by sets. The split push machine. So we're anxious to see where Wonder Blitz goes with this Rift Herald.
Yeah, I also did. He dropped the top lane in the first one, and I was not a big fan. You have this Morgana Caitlyn who's constantly pushed in. I definitely think that was a bit of a missed opportunity to get them some more gold, and you can see by the kills and the KDA, and just they are very happy. This opposing bot side, Order of the Shadow, again falling a little bit behind in this bot lane matchup. The Pyke finally those win skills. Talking of all,
Pendragon block. No!
friend check failed. Jin is a bad person.
Like, rule number 1 with dealing with Caitlyn's ace in the hole is that one of the friends has to stand still. You cannot both try to juke and block because you weave, you miss, you pass each other, and that bullet bends around, and that's exactly what we saw right there. Pendragon went left, Deadly Bubbles went right, and that ace in the hole went right down the middle, like a bowling alley. Ooh. Big fight though, coming through is going to be the final, or the first proper fight as Krusty Ghost just able to get away with the QSS activation, but Destroyer has at the plans as he does go Rogue man down like you mentioned, so that's going to be... It feels like Era, despite the game being so clear, still in this driving position.
Yeah, also ready to be getting the next dragon with this spawning in about 30 seconds. Yeah, surely you don't have priority to even have vision for this dragon. Should just go over.
It's the soul point, but it's not going to be as big as the soul as the first game. We had previously Era finding themselves that Infernal Soul in game 1 of the best of 3. In this case, not going to be the Infernal, but instead, I believe, the Cloud.
Yeah, also this Viego is feeling a bit more Master Yi than the Master Yi at the moment, which is always tragic to see. But TP coming in, and they're saying we're going to take this before you do.
Era actually opted to go for the reset. That's kind of interesting. I mean, they had that soul potential, but instead handing it over, perhaps rushing straight for the Baron instead. Not entirely sure how I feel about this call. Finally, perhaps a chink in the armor for the Era side macro. I mean, it would have been a risk to stay and look to try siege that objective, but the real macro issue was not resetting earlier.
Big show.
Raid boss forced to flash out, ends up surviving, but loses the summoner.
Yeah. He was hoping to get some vision on the Baron there, but that's a slow monster. You can't be in the wrong place. Who is face checking it? I mean, it has to be him, right?
I mean, they've got the black shield, so as long as Morgana's there, it could potentially be almost anyone. Viego's a really good one as well, because he's very mobile. So, I mean, you know what they say, the bigger you are, the harder you fall. So, in this case, Cho'Gath almost falling, actually forced to use that summoner means that they don't have the potential for the flash, consume the flash feast for the objective steal. So, I mean, Era is in a situation where there's a lot of potential to go wrong, a lot of potential to go pear-shaped. In this case, starting out the objective is very risky because, like we said before, he has that feast. But now, because of that invade 1v5 pick, the threat of the steal is a lot less. Big dance started as the mid-wave does start to shove through into the red side base, as we do have a set 1v1 Wonder Blitz forced to pop ult. That is not good. Marcy does not have that reset potential anymore, as the fight was sort of just dropped immediately. Bubbles in the backline look to try to open a curtain and apply pressure, but unfortunately just no follow through as Pike goes right. Where are you going to, friend? He's going for the rogue.
Doesn't have the damage.
That should have been the engage right there.
That was a 4-man ulti.
He needed to take that and self ulti into the collapse, but he just was not there for the communication. Sat was top, and as a result, OSH Shadow getting a free engage. Pike resets, then he finds one. Does he find two? He doesn't. The recast is not on the right place. Where's the flicks? Where's the aim trainer? You hate to see it.
Yeah, heartbreak for Pendragon. He has been playing his heart out and just not hitting everything quite as much.
That's
absolutely.
Oh, you've just been crushed, friend. Set 1v4 like you mentioned, single track, picking up where Pendragon left off, but ends up going almost insanely big, but ends up dying. I mean, yeah.
It's a win. That set is happy at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's gonna be top 3 clip for sure.
Yeah. What?
I was about to say that, like, that moment that Pendragon had there where you had potential reset into like Quadra, that's like one of those 1 in 100 game opportunities where you just cannot afford to mess it up, and in this case the mechanics just weren't there. Pike is not an easy champion for exactly that reason. You miss one click, you miss one ultimate, and the entirety of the combo, the entirety of the kit is just broken down.
Yeah, you mentioned in game number 1, and still very good performance from this Pike. Honestly, is this the default mythic on him? I haven't seen him very much. Yeah,
it's pretty good. It gives you that free engage, almost a guaranteed route, which is really, really nice for single target picks, as well as sort of getting into the right positioning. So it's not bad.
Also, by the way, like, have you noticed the skin synergy? I'm pretty sure this was Coven Morgana and Coven Lysandra.
Yeah, I remember them.
It's a very interesting, and there was a moment earlier where, where you had this ulti on the Morgana that just felt very thematically fitting.
It kind of matches the Caitlyn skin as well, actually. Same with the Choi, to be honest, like a little bit.
It's really on theme here. So you get the Baron started, hoping to get that with a Cho'Gath. Lysandra does have TP.
Feast is it's available, so they have a great opportunity for the Executors. They do look for the finish. Wonder Blitz, on the other hand, trying to super low. Cho'Gath too big for the final shot to hit. As 70 health in the Nash. Blue team secured, but will they survive to play or to use it? It does seem like we're in a really good spot, so there's going to be able to melt majority of the airside team. Already big knock-up, Ambiguous in the front line. Deadly Bubbles is dead. And Pendragon just not able to be of too much usage. I take it back, but the recast, the double click again, and the double Morgana Black shield into pull. Yeah, sure, that fight was something.
Whew. Oh, the nerves is activated for this poor Pike. He's just spamming that R button, bro.
Yeah, you've got to be very careful, because if it bites the first time and you get the reset, you wasted a second really unintentionally. Like, that's quite a tricky one. Because a lot of the time you're CC'd and you're like, why? Or you're silenced and like, why is it not going off? You spam clicking to get it to go off as quick as possible because your window of opportunity for the kill is there, and then suddenly you're at the ground toss.
Yeah, and suddenly this game is just as close as it was 10 minutes ago, and it's just feeling like, honestly, definitely feels like OSH Shadow just pulling back here in this team fight. Wow.
They've got 2 Cloud Drakes in a row, so the potential for the quad Cloud plus Soul is there. They have the tools to really lock these objectives down as well. They've got the Cho'Gath, they have the Feast, and this is coming down to that team comp that we said. This is looking at very easy to execute. So, Order the Shadow by all means in it. If we do have blue side taking the victory, we'll be going to game number 3. If it is going to be Error, on the other hand, able to pull it back in their favor, not in the greatest of spots now, actually falling behind in gold, then it will be the end of the series, but only time will tell.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like this game can go either way. But the things that you do have going for you on the Order Shadow side is this Viego and Blitz. The Viego and Yi.
I know. You're going to
Talking about Viego, Yi.
QSS popped. Black Shield to get him out. He does survive. Pike not really finding that. Death from below. Ambiguous on the other hand, taking on single track as we have the Code and Call now joining. Viego dead. Volley as well. Set is out of here. Heisman in a decent spot as he does apply the Rogue Shield, Black Shield, but the bindings gonna be right after the Zarya finishes. Go Golden, go dead, go home. And Ambiguous still looking to try to come through, but Pendragon on the other hand beautifully repositioned into the order. The Healer Blaze is gonna be there. He goes pretty massive yet again. Pendragon just not having too much success with these ultimates, but otherwise the mechanics on point. As it seems like Blitz is just doing the Blitz Mossy split push.
That's why I said Blitz. Has got Blitz in his name. That explains that. Oh, you don't win that. Pike does not win against a Yi at 29 minutes into the game.
So Baron Nashor now dropping off as the tier 2 turret does drop bottom. Rogue. Need to be careful. You cannot really afford to greed this one. If you die here, you stagnate the resets and suddenly Error have a window back into this game. So don't greed. Safety first, take the reset, spend the cash, you've had a pretty big victory, and put it into items.
Yeah, the victories across the board have been very, very good, and it's just great to see this game. I definitely feel like it's just so close. This Cho'Gath is officially a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's starting to come online now, which is a big issue, because Master Yi, again, when he gets that 3 items spike, these team fights are going to be going a very Order of the Shadow favored.
Yeah, and Viego again, pretty much a Mossy of his own right, with an even more stupid ulti. Yeah, and with the Black Shield, it's so hard to lock down these 2 carries. Like you basically have to pick one. Who's gonna live and who are you gonna CC and try and focus down? Because you can't do both.
So this comes down to Order of the Shadow being able to close the game down. It's a situation where we have other teams struggle in this point. Error did a very good job of the first game of just breaking it down by Order of the Shadow sort of over forcing an attempt when they had, or the opposing side had Baron. In this case, we don't really have that luxury of the Baron just yet, only spawning in a minute and a half, but it seems like Volibear yet again going to be caught off in this case. It's going to be the same repeat of the last game, but different teams, as Rogue is able to destroy Volley. He's out of here as Daily Bubbles force a flash out of the backline. Pendragon the focus, with Cho'Gath looking to try to join as Rogue is so low, but he gets picked up, he gets put back down. He has the flash, he has the moves, the mechanics, did he have the toothpick damage? He does not. Single track, finding himself that ADC slay as the final binding will be there, so the trade. But Wonder Blitz again, top lane for the split push. Everfrost negated, CC created. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll stop.
Very nice rhymes there, but Wanda not gonna be living long enough there to see the dream. But the towers are dropping left, right, and center. That's what you want to see on the side of Order Shadow. Oh, I feel like the Pike just needs to carry because no one else can. Yeah, and he has been playing so well.
Yeah, but it does drop though. Viego. Oh, locked in place. Does take a lot of turns. Nice. Like you said, Pike needs to carry. That's exactly what he's trying to do, but it's not going to be enough as Pendragon now sitting on the kill potential. It does end up finding it. I do not think this Pike makes it through into the 3rd game if we get there. He's just doing too much work.
You can do that across a wall?
Yep. He's pretty big. He can just reach over at this point.
That is the first I've seen that. Damn. You think you're safe from behind a wall? Cho says no, friend.
Nom. Food waits for no man. As we do have the potential third Cloud Drake
I think
now.
this is not a good idea.
Yeah, Wonder Blitz is nowhere to be seen, and they have Rogue Destroyer right here. He has the smite, so... Actually, no, wait, okay, he does not come through into the pit, so must he actually be able to find himself number 3? So that's 3 Drakes in a row that Auto Shadow have managed to pull away.
Yeah, but that was a Drake for 2 deaths and a Baron.
Yeah.
And a Baron, like the Baron is worth more than a Dragon here because the Baron keeps the opposing side from having Dragon. And with Order not having Dragon, it's so hard for you to close the game off, especially in, yeah, with these between these two teams. The Dragon, the Baron is the way for you to close off. It gives you that extra push power and ability.
And if you're the air side, it gives you a couple more minutes to try and create an opportunity. But the flash forward through red team. I don't know if they want to actually stall against this comp, which is the issue. In that Master Yi and the rest of the Shadow do come online pretty shortly. We have the 3rd item now secured for Master Yi, so he has a lot more damage. He has the carry potential. As Heisman finds only the 4th shot, but Pendragon just cash it out. Gives the gold over to Deadly Bubbles as it is shared. So now we can already see that the gold is pretty much even at this point.
Yeah. Like, and honestly, I don't know what, like, I definitely want to say the better comp is obviously the Viego Master Yi in the late game, but Pyke is so strong right now.
Issue though is,
Jin is online.
It's very easy for Pyke to misplay. So, despite him doing really well up to this point, if he has one bad fight where he gets knocked up or CC, he's gonna get blown up. So yet again, we saw first game, it was a bit of a reversal in that, sure, get pulled in the backline, Destroyer looking to try as much create pressure as he can, and that's going to be a ready volley trade over the Master Yi. He is dead despite having all that item and potential, but the siege will continue. Aaron looking to try and break the base. They have the Baron. So like I mentioned before, is that you have to be very careful here. You're versing a team with Baron and enhanced minions. The push through will be very strong if you cannot guarantee this team fight victories. And looking to try to defend, not always the best option. Perhaps just cut your losses, lose the inhibitor, don't lose the game. Wait out the Baron and find the right opportunity to pull trigger. This may just be it here as the backing out on Arrow. They look to try and just disengage, but they get away for free as Deadly Bubbles. Not really sure on his escape plan for that one, passing straight past the tier 2 turrets.
Yeah, interesting choice there. Pendragon caught by the binding, predicted that beautifully. And that's a dead Pyke.
What did I say about Pyke? He is so squishy. You get CC'd, you're gonna get blown up, and just like that.
Jin is being hunted as well. Krusty had Flash coming up as well, but he might just try this. Oh no, the Baron recalls too fast. Damn. Dude, this game just feels so close. Oh,
that was a big win though for Arrow. This is the first actual win for Arrow we've seen in a while. Yeah. They've been playing back foot for the last 5 to 10 minutes, so it's kind of starting to seem like they're pulling it back, and Order of the Shadow are struggling to close the match out.
Yeah, which is odd because you have a Yi and a Viego. In what world do those two champs struggle to close the match out? Yeah.
Rusty. Trying to find his opening. Destroyer, not exactly the one you want to be focused on. The blue side Cho'Gath does look to try now join in as the mid siege comes through. Keep in mind that bot inhibitor will be shoving naturally through in favor of Order of the Shadows.
Dragon is also spawning in a minute.
Cool. Ambiguous, the designated tank.
That take 0 damage.
Rogue Destroyer does pop ult yet again. It's going to be Caitlyn as well as Volley Bear dead, but Pyke looking for the reset. Unfortunately finds 1. Does he find 2? He does not, but the damage is going to be there just enough to try and get a Ghost low, but he goes golden. At least Mott does, as the resurrection is going to be the fight not done yet for the 2v2 as Pyke not able to find the lockdown Ghost. Do they have any form of Grievous?
Yeah, and just wow, this Krusty Ghost is absolutely showing up in this game. Beautiful. What a team fight.
Like, Krusty heals for a lot. The Grievous attacks may just be worth it.
Yeah, I mean, he has so much lifesteal. It is absolutely crazy. And he also gets quite a lot of lifesteal when he steals a champion's
Yeah, when he takes their
Swarm.
form, like a lot of that's exactly what happened there. Is that he almost got blown up, but he was able to survive thanks to the GA, I believe.
Yeah, we actually have 20% lifesteal on that man, and the only form of previous wound seems to be the Thorn Mail. Am I missing anything
Volley
else?
back.
Yeah, pretty sure it's just the Thorn Mail. And we actually do get Soul going over to Order of Shadow, even though it's been Shoal Point for Era for the past
That's
20 minutes.
4 dragons in a row secured by Order of the Shadow. They're in a really good spot. You pop ulti, you're gonna yeet.
At this rate, Order of Shadow is going to take us to game number 3. Not ready to give up just
It's not done
yet.
yet. I'm not giving up on Era just yet. I feel like they have it in them still to pull this game back. It's one good fight, and it's
Either way,
gonna,
to be honest.
can they deal with Krusty Ghost first? Does he die? If he doesn't, this fight is doomed. If they can get a pick, I think it's pretty free. So perhaps up to Set to look for that flank, pick you up, put you in my team. Kind of combo in itself, kind of risky, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, also, Viego has that QSS for quite a while, so he's not the easiest
Oh,
kind
no.
of lock down.
Oh,
Once again, the
no.
volley bear.
I take it back. I take it way back.
Volley bear curse, is that what we call this?
It feels like it. It doesn't matter which side plays it. It's just gonna be the volley bear not working out.
Volley
Set's
dead,
not
maybe.
caught out. Heisman forced the flash. Pike not really finding that kill, unfortunately, but he does find a little bit of CC as they're just able to run them through. Wave now should join, so that should be Order of the Shadow taking this victory, unless they somehow clutch this one out. Deadly Bubbles and Mott still alive as the Nexus now in sight. Order of the Shadow having the damage and the victory in sight, but do they have the damage to close out the Nexus? Hang on. The Dream is not dead just yet. It's going to be the 2v1. The Nexus now half as Deadly needs to show us what he has. The tank. The only Cho'Gath, but the Winions into the replay freeze. What? What?
What?
What?
Even the game is like, this is too hype. We have to crash.
It's gonna drop. It's gonna drop it. The game is not gonna play this out. I'm telling you now. I've seen this one before.
Damn. Cho'Gath 2 tanky crashes server. It's taking up too much of the screen, and wow.
I feel like Cho'Gath just one orders and the wave just ends. I think that's the end of the game. Pretty sure.
Yeah,
Ambiguous
pretty sure it's the end of the
ones.
game as well. There. I mean, even like Ambiguous dies here, which is impossible because Jin just cannot kill this tank. The minion wave is gonna finish that
Yeah.
up.
Okay,
What is
so
up with this
I'm pretty happy with this calling that game as an Order of the Shadow victory. I feel like the replay is just bugged. So let's jump over through to the fastest desk before we look at the post-game stats in just a moment. I mean, honestly, that was an incredibly back and forth series so far. I mean, it looked like error on multiple occasions. We're gonna lock this game out. Order of the Shadow able to double down and come back from 3 dragons down to 4 in a row and ends up closing out. We said in the chat select that we preferred the Order of the Shadow comp. And they played it better. Straight up.
Yeah, they played absolutely beautifully. That was wow. Just what a game of League. I feel like that was a game of highlights. That's that's what I have to say about this game. It was so fun to watch. Both teams really fighting toe to toe, not giving anyone an inch, and just everyone running with every little bit they could. Pike was just popping off constantly, and yeah, I just feel like Viego, Master Yi, you give them 40 minutes, eventually they're gonna take the game right under your feet, and you just have to close it. But we're gonna look at post game stats.
Okay, so I mean, like you mentioned before, that win condition of multiple items onto the Master Yi, as well as the Viego coming through pretty hard. So comes down to closing out the game correctly. Slow and steady wins the race and gets the base. In this case, just did not find that steady pace that they needed, so it ends up getting swept from under their feet, like you mentioned. So it means they're gonna have to just redraft, reapproach. Definitely anybody's series still, as we do go through to the 3rd game shortly.
Yeah, wow, so much damage on Lysandra. Just this game felt a lot closer and a lot cleaner. Both teams really going toe to toe, and yeah, Order of Shadow just taking that victory very cleanly.
Right, so we'll be back shortly for the third game. Time for the water, time for the popcorn. We'll see you guys soon. Yeah, we are live. Let's go. Right, game 3 of the best of 3. I think this is the first best of 3 we've had in a while that actually went to the third game.
Definitely, and I'm always excited to have best of 3 games. It's super exciting. A little bit more late into the night, but we had an amazing game number 2, and we'll be in Champ Select in just a second.
Okay. Right, first band, Rumble? Nope, he's still open. Ramus is out of here. Cassiopeia and Cho. Can we get the
slight
Pike ban?
pivot there? Yeah, I really would like to see the Pike ban, and that Shogath ban did come out. Although Morgana was a relatively good answer to the Pike. Wasn't perfect. The Pike still popped off quite a lot in the early stages and mid game, but the Black Shields were there when they needed to be, and doesn't seem like we're having any other pivots when it comes to
Victor?
the bans. Victor was one we have seen before.
Krusty has just performed too well on this Pike in both games to let it through. Like, it's clearly a comfort pick. Take him off of it, get him onto something that's a little bit less impactful, and I think it'll be pretty smooth sailing from there forward. But it seems like it does make it through yet again in the picks in the first ban phase rather.
Yeah, we actually do got the Elgato ban there, which was also a really high priority pick in game number 1. Actually, potential MVP there, just really dealing well with the Pantheon in the mid lane.
Oh, Volibear.
Volibear, the cursed champ. We do see Order of the Shadow touching the curse. Playing with some fire.
Did they go for the same plan though? Did they go for something slightly different? We had the Master Yi game too. I wouldn't say it was the Master Yi that potentially won that game for them, but rather Viego as well as failing to close out on the error side. So we have the Kai'Sa lock in for the first rotation, which is a bit of an interesting one. I don't really think Kai'Sa is necessarily that high of a priority pick right now, especially with the jungler already being shown. So I hope to see the error side jungle lock in for the second pick coming through the next few seconds. It's going to be Morgana for the bot lane, so taking away that Caitlyn Morg potential.
Yeah. I think the Morgana is just predicting that the Pike's coming out, and you're just already being like, we'll just play Morgana into it and we'll be fine. Not sure. I really would have liked to see a Viego pick come out already. It isn't banned, so like you have one more opportunity to pick it up. Did you get the Karma hover? Is it?
So Karma's actually really decent right now. She's been buffed a bit and not in a bad spot at all. Into the Morgana matchup might be a little bit more interesting. You have to make sure to break that black shield before you can look for anything really like a binding. So the other opportunity is perhaps putting Karma in a solo lane. No, do not put Samira with Karma, please. You need a hard CC support with that pick. I hope they do not lock it in.
Yeah,
they locked it in.
Yeah, she beat. They weren't in stream. Sorry, bro. That was that's heartbreak. I mean, it could be Karma top lane. Let's dream. Volibear support. Just kidding.
Master Yi, the hover is there into the Kane switch. Wonder Blitz. Now to lock in their pick for the volley. So Udyr is still available. There it is. There's the hover. The Jarvan is another
let's
option.
stop getting debated and see.
Locked in. Okay.
Not the one I was expecting, but
Not the worst combo. I'm Jarvan and I'm helping. Second ban phase not coming through.
Yeah, so I think what I'm thinking is this Jarvan does make a lot of sense, because you can't play the Yi and then like barely farm and try and gank a lot, but Jarvan is very happy to be ganking all the time.
Yeah, Jarvan's a
very cheese level
ganker.
2.
He likes to, like you said, level 2 cheese. He likes to spam gank, repeats, ganks, and sits. So perhaps bot lane is the go-to in this case, but we'll have to see what comes through for the rest of the bans. First, Lissandra taken out as well as Silas. So, I mean, we still have the Ori open. We've mentioned it all 3 games, yet really to show up in form of pick or ban. I think it was banned in the second rotation of the second game, though. Likes the ban away Pike, but I mean, they've already kind of shown the Karma.
Shadow saying that Karma is not bot lane.
I'm not falling for that one. I'm pretty confident it is, though.
Yeah, but then why would you buy? Then that's a wasted ban.
True.
Surely
they don't want to take the risk.
They know something we don't know. Or it's a lane Pike as well. There's always potential for that. So yeah, but we talked about you wouldn't match Karma Samira, so maybe they're thinking like there's no chance you match Karma Samira. That Karma is top lane or that Karma is mid lane.
Trying to think if there would be like a synergy between Karma and Samir somehow. Maokai, okay.
Maokai.
Perhaps top lane Maokai?
Yeah, I mean, if you just
Unless
think about last game, that show.
Jungle Morgana support Maokai? No, it can't be. They got Jarvan. Damn. I got excited to take it down a notch. It's not Maokai support, but it will be Veigar now covered for the mid lane, locked in.
Yeah, just going a few dimensions too deep in the predictions. Veigar coming out. Is that? Oh, these comps are hurting brains, bro. Okay, Veigar most probably mid lane.
Yeah, it'll be Veigar mid. Support Karma. Fiora.
Are we gonna see it? Fiora Mal versus Mal?
In and ready to rumble. So the Shadow comp now showing in full force. Currently, I'm actually kind of liking the Era comp a little bit more, but we'll have to see what they run it out with. So, it's still anybody's draft.
Definitely. I think this Jarvan early game has a lot of potential to get some sick ganks off. If Fiora pops off, that's gonna be a very, very crazy game. But let's see what this last pick
I'm
is.
personally not a fan of the Fiora. I don't like Fiora in the SEC scene, as we do now have Kassadin picked up into the Veigar. So a bit of a scaling matchup mid lane. Both mids should come online towards later stages. Really shouldn't see too many solo kills. Perhaps a punish by the Jarvan onto Veigar, but otherwise, I'm liking the Era comp a little bit more, I think.
As soon as I saw that Kassadin, that was what I was waiting for. I wasn't convinced, and Era has convinced me.
Signs of the rise.
Relatively confident that they can take this.
I thought the Rise did really well in the first game. I'm very surprised that it wasn't actually picked up despite being open in this case.
Yeah, I think the problem with Rise is into Veigar, it's a bit of a tough one. I don't think that's an easy matchup.
I feel like they both just scale. Just the nature of the champions is that, like, there's not really that much kill pressure pre, like, I guess, Everfrost for Veigar. Unless you do get some cheeky ganks, but in this case, if anyone's getting a gank, it's going to be the Air side mid lane.
Yeah, and that's just the other thing is that, like, I think Veigar's damage when you have so much AP increases by so much, but Kassadin neglects a lot of that because of the Q shield, as well as the fact that I think you take like 25, 35.
I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference towards late stages. Veigar is the king of the leading AP mages, so I mean,
anyway,
maybe occasional, but nonetheless, picking patterns now are done and dusted. I mean, are we going with the air side victory? I'm kind of falling slightly further towards, I believe, that side. Era, their draft looking a little bit easier to execute in my opinion, but who knows with the Kassadin? Crusty Ghost, do you have the hands? Do you have the mechanics?
I mean, he did show up so well on the Viego in the last game. And just looking at these two comps, I'm going to say the Volibear's curse, bro. Definitely think Era's going to take this game.
Okay, only time will tell there. And we'll hopefully see you guys shortly for game number 3, the final game of tonight's series. Week 8, day 1. Right,
yeah,
see you guys.
Just 3 more games to go before we get to playoffs. Super excited, and yeah, we'll see you in game, like Shubi was about to say.
I've seen wild, wild things, tricks upon the eye.
We're back for game number 3 of this super close series between Order of Shadows and Era Kronos. And yeah, we do get a 4-man movement here towards the mid lane. Markai a little bit behind, but gonna be on his way. And that is Markai in the top lane with Morgana support once again. Deadly Bubble playing with fire. Definitely want to be careful there.
5-man invade, or 4-man invade. Heisman leading the charge as top lane Markai is looking to try to 1-man lock down the top half of the map, at least prevent anything there, but unfortunately nothing more than just a little bit of vision coming through some double ward placements, as we do have the lanes starting to reset back to standard as we... Oh, Pendragon. No Pike though. So I had the name tags actually mixed up. It's Order of the Shadow in red and Era in blue for game number 3. So actually, I'm liking Order of the Shadows comp more for the draft.
Good point. Okay. That was an XD moment. Yeah, I definitely think Order of Shadows draft, which I know we've been saying Era, but we mean Order of Shadow. The casted in. big that.
It's a little confusing because there's only one player that actually has the Order of Shadow tag amongst the two sides.
Agreed. It's really hard, especially since not all of us have those beautiful bars at the top to let you know which team is which team. Markai not losing this lane right now. Working very close though. Would you be happy to see a Fiora player showing up in the SA scene, or would you just still
think Fiora is a great champion in my opinion, especially in the likes of gold or low plat? It's a kind of champion that you need to put a lot of time, a lot of hours into, you know, matchups as well as mechanics, individual interactions. So he has a really cool skin for it, so he's got that going, but does he have the mechanics, the hands behind it to make the work of the pick? We will only tell with time, because if Fiora can't get a lead in this matchup, it's going to come down to Markai just being so much more relevant in that late game teamfight, especially Fiora likes to split, likes to get lead and become a little bit painful to deal with.
Yeah, definitely. This bot lane still playing super well, not on the Pike, but this Karma doing quite a lot of damage. Despite the anti-synergy between these two champions. Top lane.
Ambiguous.
A lot of damage.
A lot of damage. Dude, that skin actually sounds pretty cool. I like it, the Markai skin. Crusty Ghost. Oh no.
Oh no.
Snicks the baby cage just as it drops. Oh no. Oh no, what am I watching? He takes 2 turret shots, the trades are not equal down, both having the flash, but who has the trigger and the fingers to bring through the mechanics? And nobody yet died. John in their hand, not really looking for level 2 cheese, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic mistakes from both sides of this mid matchup, and it happens. Ooh.
Jarvan
we
binding
talked
is
about
gonna
Jarvan
be
gang
there.
30.
Please no, do not take the flag and the drag. Just the flag in this case, so he does not go on a turret, which is good. That would have been a definite mistake, that's for sure.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, an unfortunate button combo to hit in this case.
Okay,
Right,
destroyer.
looking super close.
Looking to get on the map as he is, just uses the roots into
Beautiful.
flash. So kind of just used an escape tool. Rogue not really expecting the be of aid for that disengage, at least, as the mid lane pretty much healed up in terms of Vigor. Both actually still sitting on teleport, so no summoner really burnt with that one. But the two, speaking of teleport, top lane, I'll consume single track. Needs to be careful, he's very low, but he has the parry. Does he have the hands, the mechanics, the damage, the root? Nicely placed sapling cuts off potential exit point as now forced to go back through mid lane or through top side. Rivers, the blue side TP. 3v1. Big commit. He's trying to get to the Fiora, but Fiora playing it nice and safe. Oh.
Wow,
Okay,
first
well
blood does finally come out, and Fiora picks it up there.
It is first
Yeah,
blood.
she is completely missing the W's though. Is it just me, or has she missed like 2 or 3 of those?
haven't really been paying too much attention. I'll look out for it, but like, despite the fact that it was first blood, it's a pretty big investment from the air side. They sent through the mid lane for the TP, which means Vega cannot really reset. That was from mid lane into top lane TP, meaning that Cassidy has a little bit more of a window of opportunity once he hits 6 and once he gets that Rift Walk available, so he can look to try and play bottom, play top, otherwise just be there as a counter. So despite Era getting first blood, they're at a little bit of a disadvantage in terms of the TPs, but you gotta keep in mind as well that Fiora still has hers, so it's a trade mid for top.
Yeah, and Cassidy having breathing room is so important. Actually going to be TPing out there in the mid lane and slightly up CS right now. Like the Fiora really has to show up at this point to make that kill worth it. Frosty going in and taking.
But it's exactly who you want the kills on, because you want top lane.
Oh,
okay. Doesn't really have the damage just yet. So, like I was trying to say before, is that you need the Fiora to get ahead in this lane. You need her to try and create this pressure, become a monster that basically snowballs that initial investment of player time and resources into something that much bigger. So I kind of like the fact that they went like all in on that top lane play to make sure that Fury got that kill.
yeah, level 6 Fiora now as well, which opens up a bit more opportunities for that rundown, especially as this is pushing.
Jarvan on the other hand,
yeah.
currently sitting bot side of the map with Dragon being on the map available. It's going to be the Ocean Drake, as we do have a bit of a rotation down as well. Volibear making its way down towards bot side, but it looks like all the Shadow do have priority at the moment currently, as both lane, mid and bottom are trying to just reset and get back on the map.
Yeah, the Ambiguous is starting to take quite a lot of damage. Definitely a dangerous spot to be in, and this Fiora still has TP. So there's a chance that you start this Dragon and Fiora TPs and you just get 3v4'd in the bot lane.
This is the objective that basically sets the pace of the game. Jarvan EQ not going to be able to get the CC. Unfortunately, he had the flash, but he's just not going to invest it with the Dragon fight coming up through shortly. Top lane will not be able to help out in terms of Maokai. So if you're actually in a really good spot, she wants to try and shove this wave out as best she can, walk away so that she cannot be cancelled, and then look to try and TP down for this Dragon objective. So technically it is an Era side favored objective currently, seeing as they do have that TP advantage, but they need to get the priority as well as make sure that Jarvan cannot get into the pit for the steal. So they kill
top and mid. She's not hitting the sides there.
So, I mean, Maokai now basing means that Fiora has an opportunity to reset as well, otherwise shoving in the wave. We do see the reset as the blue side or Era will look to try and step forward. There's the attempt at the steal. Volibear does get knocked up. He's airbound. He's a space bear, but he has no anti-gravity boots as the black shield, or the baby cage comes through. But Cassidy gets the Dragon and a double. Fiora a little bit late as the Cataclysm is there to lock you in place. Fiora down for Wonder. That is such a massive win in terms of objectives for the Shadow. Not only did they get the Drake, they got multiple kills on a Cassidy. Not looking good for Era.
Yeah, you're always going to be very happy to have kills on a Cassidy 9 minutes into the game. Not what you want to see. Just, yeah, like, you have a TP advantage that you just didn't use. You just threw it. One was getting caught out there a little bit.
I mentioned beforehand that Jarvan can very easily get into that pit, and Cassidy just saw the opportunity. He found himself those 2 kills, and I mean, Cassidy getting funneled this gold this early is just a long-term investment. He's going to go up in value soon, and it's just not what you can afford, especially in this mid lane of like sort of resource race between Vega and Cassidy on who can come online.
Yeah, and I don't even know. It feels like this is just the worst possible thing that could have happened.
Yeah,
just happened, and all of the Shadow is just in a very, very, very happy place. Again, that Fiora didn't pop off. Bay didn't get the kill on the top side with that ulti. TP bot side and died. That's you threw your lead, and now it's just.
So you've kind of
you really need to pull back and recover.
You've like accelerated the scale in this mid lane, casted in win condition for the Shadow, and you can already see that coming through the first Rift Walk into the second Rift Walk. Does he get the third? All the damage? No. Yes, he does look for the dive action. He finds it, the silence, the solo, the mid lane machine now 3-0.
Yeah, Krusty once again showing up in this second game. Showed up on the Viego and is just showing up here after getting the first 2 kills on the Dragon. Just very hard to deal with at this point.
I'm very surprised because I
Beautiful
thought Error side comp would at least get them a bit of a lead in the early stages, but I mean, Jarvan not really doing too much work in terms of ganks, but coming through pretty clutch with that objective dance. So, I mean, what are the Shadows game of 3?
Definitely. And honestly, the other thing to look for is just this top lane needs to perform. Fiora is not a pick that is going to be doing very well in a team fight. It cannot keep up with this Makai as the game goes on. Oh,
Mantra Q to the face, Rogue taking a lot of damage. Unfortunately, just no trigger pull. Has the flash, still Samira. Top lane. Volley bear. Rift Walk exit stage right. He's out of here. He's pretty safe. He's happy. He's chilling. He's chilling.
yeah, I need to be careful though. Early game, it's easy to lose track of how many R's you've used on Castellan and then suddenly be out of mana
As
and
a
in the
mana
wrong
dump.
place. Yeah. Going turn to turn this top lane. I think that looks like we're trying to see a freeze here. Doesn't want to let this wave hit the tower. We do see quite a bit of a CS gap in the top lane, which is expected considering the resources invested into Fiora in the early part of the game here.
Jarvan
quite
over, tops
paying
on the
off.
map. Rogue bottom. He has the turret turn off. Finds himself to free engage. Doesn't even need to turn it off just yet as he does not like unstoppable. But it looks like Cassidy is different flanks as he does on the first one. It's going to be the support now down. But trading over the AD carry. Mott a little bit late for the baby cage attempt. And the Black Shield says no, but the fight not done just yet. The double, the Cassidy going massive as we may just see the third attempt at a kill. He does, but gets traded back over. So a little bit of gold back in the pocket for Era's top lane. We do have their own attempt. So it's again this whole play weak side. Don't force it. In this case, it's going to be a single doing just that. Able to survive as Order the Shadow.
A 1v2 so well. Wow. Man, he absolutely played that so well.
He's 6-1 at 12 minutes. This is not looking good for Era.
Yeah, I think I don't know how you win this. Like,
It's called the Vega.
I hate to be that sad.
Vega arc
like-
click, dude. If you can get enough gold and resources onto Vega, he should be able to deal with Cassidy despite this lead.
Yikes.
What does Cassidy say to that? Zhonya's. Can you time your stopwatch to basically waste Vega's kill button?
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, or you can also just kind of try and avoid the Vega as much as possible, or just kill him. Not quite.
Yeah, Cassidy's at that point of the game now where if Vega missteps and misplaces his cage, he's gonna be dead. We've seen it already. Cassidy now just trying to power farm his way to level 11 as we do have already such a lead in the mid lane. Level 11, Rift Walk upgrade number 2 is gonna be a pretty big spike for him.
Okay, so I'm just kind of trying to wrap my head around what the state of this game is and how Cassidy is 6-0. But regardless of that, we have other things happening. Top lane is still an absolute duelist dance between the tree and the duelist herself. And Dragon spawned. Meanwhile, mid lane.
Yeah, almost got an off-screen solo kill, but Rifttail now sitting in the pocket for one to blitz. Let's see where he takes that. Probably mid lane as they look to try and close out at least the turret. Unfortunately, no real objectives, no bricks taken just yet, despite being past that 14-minute plate mark. So no bonus gold for this Rifttail objective when they do decide to drop it. But on the other hand, Dragon on the map. There it is. It's merely a distraction to secure the second objective of Dragon.
Yeah, and this is really looking good. Order of Shadow picking up the second Dragon here. This is the first time that they've actually had early priors on Dragon. Previously, it's always been Era picking up the Dragons up until the first 3 Drakes before we see any contest by the opposing side. So a very different story in this third game of the best of 3. Eisenman and Dragon saying hi with their abilities. Deadly Bubbles.
I know.
Thought
never
about
mind.
looking for more.
So you think
That's
you're
challenging,
safe, but it's gonna
Sora.
be a cheeky rotation down by the tree itself. If you're up the state top
Yeah.
of the pushes them, do you have that binding the black? Shield not available just yet, or needed at least. Rogue repositions, looking for the damage. Still lost order for the passive. Kicks in, Bubbles looking to try pull
Top point.
trigger. Oh, the shield drop went off just as the connection's there. That's beautifully placed. Blitz prioritizing support into AD carry. Ends up in a flash, but otherwise pretty cleanly played. As a Rogue Destroyer and the rest of the boys a little bit late in this bot lane, so they're going to try and be the cleanup crew that they need. Rogue Optimus completely ignored. Blitz ends up juking back forth into the ADS. As a red side, blue side, TP looking to try and join. It's going to be Fiora finding the first one as Jarvan is shut down. That's going to be the double in the backline. Top lane going massive, as this may just be the era win condition coming back through reforming. Heisman.
Fiora?
Oh, flashes into the binding, but it's not going to be
Doesn't
enough to
matter.
get to where he comes back, as Ambiguous is out of mana. The tree is looking to try and shut him down, but Fiora may just be able to walk away. The Winions, the Costas, not there, as we do have the Mastery taunt into the Rogue Destroyer down rotation. So Bear v Tree.
Ambiguous?
There's another
Who's
mana.
winning?
The passive though.
What?
Rogue? Rogue? No! What? Mastery taunt.
Mastery tones across the board. Wow, for like a Maokai that is not exactly super ahead, he is doing a lot of healing and a lot of damage. Almost killed the Fiora there in the end, as well as literally did kill the bear.
It's almost unbearable.
Nice. Oh.
Krusty, Everfrost. Looking for the re-engage. Second Rift Walk. He's not getting out of this one, unfortunately, friend. Even if you had Flash, you're not going to be able to walk away from the cast, and he's like finding you in a dark corner in that alleyway that you just cannot afford to be in. So I was kind of doomed as soon as you went left in this case. Single.
Oh no.
Single track mine. Volibear is here for the cleanup. Cassidy, no, he turns back out, takes out Fiora.
beautiful
That is a
play.
big shutdown. He was 4-1. Cassidy now cashing out on that top lane double into triple that we saw before. So, I mean, Era's top lane was supposed to be their condition for this game to get back in, but instead just funneling more and more cash into the pocket for this Cassidy. 8-1.
Yeah, and honestly, just beautiful. That was very well played by Cassidy. And slightly misplayed from Fiora. I think there was an opportunity to kind of get closer to the Volibear and hopefully kill that Cassidy while it's locked up. You can't run from Cassidy, and you can't hide in a bush. He'll just face check with the R, especially if he thinks you're low.
So, I
And
mean,
you're
Cassidy
looking like a juicy kill.
now sitting on 2 kills, 2 items, plus, I think Era wish he was in 2 kills, but he's sitting on 2 items plus the 10 stacks of Dark Steel, so perhaps we do get that Magi's coming through in a second, but no Zonias, no stopwatch just yet, so he is still killable. Krusty Ghost is not a god yet, but he's on the way there.
Yeah, honestly, do you even need Algots if you're this far ahead?
It's probably safe just to deal with the Veigar, because I feel like realistically Veigar is the only real kill condition that Era have onto Krusty in a fight.
That Fiora's down a level now. And not exactly winning anymore with his bot lane trades. As ooh, that's a dead Samira. Or not. Well, regardless, you can see it on the map. It hasn't actually been on the cam yet, but surely. There
40
we go.
seconds
Chase is
left.
happening.
Oh no. 40 seconds left for the next Dragon Spawners is just not getting away from the Cassidy. That is not an AD carry that can deal well with Cassidy. Rogue Destroyer on the other hand getting kited up pretty hard as Maokai does brings in the roots, but there's going to be the Volibear into Jarvan. Death in this case, Veigar actually the one finding that kill as the fight does continue. Double for the tree. He's not able to keep his friend alive, unfortunately. As we do have Ambiguous now, the new focus. Red side TP. It's going to be Cassidy looking to try to join the fight as the re-engage is going to be there.
That's the dead
Cassidy.
bagel.
The lead a little bit, but does end up finding himself killed. Number 10 as not to be that guy, but I kind of think this is doomed.
Yeah. I 100% agree. What are you gonna do? This Cassidy does not give a damn.
Cassidy just being funneled way too much gold. Cheers, bud. I think the only thing that could have made this worse was if that Morgana was a Yuumi. And we would have Krusty Ghost plus Yuumi, and that would be scary.
Yeah. Free healing on the Cassidy as well.
So what's the
Very
ratios?
happy.
It's all about the EP ratios.
That's true. Yeah. And honestly, the movement speed, like, it's so hard to get away from a Cassidy already. But with the Yuumi, it's even more uncomfortable. Krusty looking to give away 700 gold.
Ever Frost finds
Not
nobody with
quite
Baby
yet.
Cage locked in place. It's gonna be the turnaround. Actually, it's gonna actually be Wonder picked off.
Yeah, that was very, very almost Krusty Ghost going down there. And you don't want to be giving 700 gold over to anyone, especially not Fago, who you mentioned is one of the main threats to this
I just
Cassidy.
want to point out that Arrow is sitting currently on 9 kills, but Krusty Ghost is sitting on 11.
Yeah. State of the game, bro. That is another kill actually being picked up there. Ambiguous just not losing this 1v1. Finally, Ulti comes out, hoping to pick up this kill this tree.
Does he get the passive? He does the healing, but Ambiguous having the damage. I just want to point out, I really like the fact that Ambiguous has gone for the Grievous Wounds. There are far too many games that I've seen where players just completely ignore it, they don't pay the tax, and versus Fiora you have to make sure that you have that Grievous in some form, so Ambiguous able to win that thanks to the handy Grievous tax that was paid a little bit ago, so the long-term investment.
What is going on with the turrets, dude?
What do you mean?
Oh, never mind. It's just my turrets look very different.
Are you trying to turn them off?
Don't mind me. No. No idea what was going on. Wonder Bliss, I was getting caught for the second time in the exact same
He learned
place.
his lesson the first time. He's been in the flash. There's no hesitation on that one.
Oh, the turret is back to the way it looked, guys. Don't worry. Just a visual bite.
False alarm, nobody panic.
Yeah, I was like, the right forgets to include this in the patch notes.
Oh no.
Oh, Cassidy looking, hunting. Oh!
Finding Everfrost into the final kill. Pretty clean. I don't know, I feel like Krusty went from like a 5 in game 1, 5 in game 2 to a 10 in game 3. This is his game, it seems.
Yeah, definitely.
Malton was already dead, and Sword of the Shadow just quite easily able to clean it up. And they cast it in disrespect, saying, no guys, chill, this is my game, let's close this out. We've played for 3 games in a row, but this is the one where you guys get on my back. Order the Shadow in order with Cassidy right at the top.
Just wow. Honestly, I could not be more impressed by Krusty Ghost in this game, and yeah, I feel like morally, like, just you're exhausted after how do teams mentally not tilt off the face of the earth knowing that this Cassidy is as far ahead as he is?
It's about, I guess, trying to figure out what is your next condition. As soon as like the team breaks down in the sense of they don't have a clear like objective to bring themselves back in the game, that's when it starts to get a bit shaky because players just stop trying. You sort of feel like you're delaying the inevitable. So as long as the team's communicating and you're talking and trying to work out how you could potentially get in this game back into your favor, then you're okay. But I don't know, Cassidy not exactly in the greatest spots to deal with. He's got 3 items plus 20 stacks of Magi's. That is an insanely fed Cassidy. So it's about to hit level 16 as well, so it's going to get 10 times worse when he does manage to get that final level.
Yeah, and the Hourglass finally coming up with a potential outplay against the Vega. It's rough, man. It's rough. And the level gaps are showing across the board. 1 level in the top lane, 1 level in the jungle, 3 levels in the mid lane, which is not a big surprise considering how fed this Cassidy is. And 1 each for each bot laner. Just, yeah, I don't know what to say. It feels like era in this game. Oh, talking about. Like we have a fire breaking out here, and Vigor's getting caught. Who's catching who?
Jarvan blocking the Cataclysm in, so Cassidy looking to try and join from the bot side. A little bit late in the TP, but he's going to be here now. Multiple was already dead. All the Shadow doesn't even need the cast at this point, as they're just able to run them through and clean up that fight. Bit of an awkward. Yeah, I was going to go with interesting than awkward, but a bit of an awkward engage the initial Wonder Blitz EQ over into the popcorn, and that actually probably right there is the game in the series. I'm quite surprised at how quickly Order of the Shadow were able to close this one out with that extra gold in the pocket.
Yeah, very anticlimactic game number 3, considering how game 1 and 2 went. Just beautifully played from Order of Shadows, and just the power of this Castle pick with it getting ahead, being the end of
I mean, it's a long series, so it's not the worst. Players tend to want to sort of get back to more IRL stuff at this stage, because I mean it's already almost 11 o'clock because the series went pretty late, plus the late start. So having that quick pump and dump in Order of the Shadow's favor was not the worst outcome. So GG, well played.
Yeah, very well played indeed. And beautifully played from both teams. I think we saw some great drafts, we saw some great games, some very interesting choices. I think teams are probably going to be reevaluating. I want to say that Pantheon pick is probably something to reevaluate and think about in game number 1. The Castle pick feeling very powerful. Just wow, beautifully played.
All right, let's take a look at the match stats quickly. So unfortunately, Deadly Bubbles and Rogue not really being able to feature, as well as Pendragon. So it kind of just was that Cassidon getting the free kills in that early interaction. The 3 kills bottom, I believe, which was the catalysm that sort of kind of just snowballed them out of control. So I think after that performance, it's got to be middle lane MVP for the series, surely.
Agreed. And he actually played really well on the Viego as well. So it's hard to not give it to him. I think game 1 was a bit of an odd one. He was playing the Rumble in game number 1.
Yeah, he didn't find much success with the Rumble. I think he's had a lot more practice on the cast.
The equalizers were not quite there.
Yeah, saw the potential there.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I mean that's the series done and dusted, I believe. Order of the Shadow taking the series 2-1. I'm actually kind of surprised. I thought that was going to be the airside victory. So good job to the Order of the Shadow guys pulling through, and I feel like 1 or 2 of the games might have been a slight comp gap, perhaps with a bit of an even or more even draft. We would have had a different outcome of the series. Both teams definitely could have taken it at the end of the day. In this case, it was just Order of the Shadow wanting it a little bit more.
Yeah, but beautifully played across the board. And if there's anything to watch, it's that game number 2. For those of you who may have missed it, it was an absolute banger. Just highlights upon highlights. Beautiful Pike ulties. 1v4 that got a triple kill by the set. Just wow. Viego popping off.
That was a highlight.
Very entertaining stuff. And you should see that all in the highlights in just a bit.
100%. Otherwise, that's going to be all it from myself as well as anti-tankers. Absolute pleasure for week 8 cast day 1. 3 more games left of this section of the tournament. Exciting stuff.
Excited for the next stage.
Cool.
Let's go.
See you guys Sunday at 8 p.m. I believe for the next game. Should be good. See you guys then. TP list, a little bit of advantage top lane for Krusty and the Order of the Shadow players who do in the bot lane. There it is, Heisman finally punished for the disrespect. And no more laughing coming out of Lulu as Rogue is looking to try and trade this over. He does find the 1-1 on his Blitz bot lane. The flip is going to be there, but unfortunately just not having that damage. Bot lane, the flip is going to be there, but unfortunately just not having that damage.
He was just barely up cooldown on the Twitch there. Meanwhile, mid lane's going super low. Beautiful shield there, cancels a lot of damage.
Do we get the crit order? We don't. Hello, shotgun knee single with the mastery taunt. The Stain does come through, and Big is the main focus. He's going to be dropped low, force the flash out. Is he just able to get to them with a follow-through flash? The lost auto, it will not be enough. As Wonder blitz the new focus, as he's disengaging as well, so nobody dies.
Yeah, but both flashes are burnt by...
What a poke. Around Tantan, unfortunately, is ADC. Will not have it, but the Pendragon, the Pendragon 73. Yeah, it was Lulu first, but not Twitch. Paying the price, going for the greatest top lane. We do have the solo. Out of mana, but the final auto will be there as he does find himself the Halo Blaze kicking in. The last auto's not going to be there as the shield is here. Heisman, flip over the shoulder. Curtain Core finds one, finds two. Can he find a three? He can't find a taunt. As single track, working his way down, ends up gaining himself a free kill.
Oh no.
Fear Beyond Death, hello, come back to me, that Pantheon ult. I mean, he had the shield, he could have survived if he, I think, chose the right direction in that case. I'm pretty sure that's how the interaction works.
Yeah, you have to get the shield in the right direction. But I don't think you're the... Where I have a teammate Urgot, and I'm trying to save my ADC. And then boom.
End up denying him his
Oh,
hard-earned kill.
2v2 in the top lane.
Taunt. Oh, Ghost doesn't even care. He pops the speed, but the hop is gonna be there. Rogue able to set up the kill and take it just as quickly. So top lane, like we said before, but back and forth constantly it seems. As it's currently 4 for 3 for 1 Rumble with that first completed item, the Mythic.
Ooh,
Blue
TP
side
behind the
TP.
bot lane.
Double flash. It's gonna be Rogue already out of here as Heisman is a rest in peace, but it will be a bit of a back trade. A single forced to teleport in to try and join for that one. Constant bloodbath across the map. Back and forth kills here, there, and everywhere. As Rammus, unfortunately not having ultimate available, looking for that taunt, trying to get to the backline, but hello, it's going to be Pyke! Yet again, finding himself an opportunity, as well as the team, a cheeky kill. So that's going to be a little bit of numbers several months ago, where it no longer tanks turrets. As the dive does come through, but it doesn't even matter. The volley bit, able to just turn the turret off as bot lane Rogue just looking to try to pull damage, but unfortunately will not get that reset for Pyke. As next it's going to be Lulu, no more. No, I was going to say no more laughing, but she will. Heisman accepting his death. Takes the double crab versus half tank man. Equalizer placed, positioning to try and get Rise out of the fight as it does. Force the Zonia's coming through a little bit low on multiple members as Wonder Blitz does come back. The Fear Beyond Death from the flash forward means that the fleet will be there into the double. The Urgot is here, the knees, and they have shotguns attached to them. So that's going to be a bit of a win as Era looking to try and re-engage. Forcing the overgrowth, Lulu paying the price, ends up looking to try and trade, does. Twitch finds himself that 1-for-1 as the shutdown's there, but Pyke saying hi, Pyke saying bye, X marks the spot, you're out of here.
Wow. Yeah, this...
The reset on the ultimate. So Rogue in the brush, Lulu trying to pressure, forcing to push Lulu out as the flash taunt's going to be there, but there's no follow-up damage just yet. Rogue doing the best he can, but the return damage is going to be there. Rammus, on the other hand, Lulu trying to re-engage as it's just going to be arrow side victory for this team fight through and through. 5, but gold is gold, as we do have the fight continuing. Gen finds the next one. Twitch is not dead, Rat is gone, single track. These legendary statuses, we do end up getting the pick. Rise finds himself that Everfrost into the jump, the pop, the taunt, the Rogue destroyed. Fear Beyond Death means 3 more kills, and that's going to be
the game.
Yeah, like, you have to keep in mind that Arrow have just picked up Barons. If you lose a fight, you take the risk. You're gonna lose a lot for it. They have that siege potential. As Twitch is doing the best he can try to deal with this Rogue. Looking to actually pick up some kills. He finds the first, he finds the second. So a little bit more gold on a Twitch at least. As both some is done, but Blitz just not able to really get there for too much of an assist. Maybe just a lane shove. Make sure the wave crashes on the turret, as we do have Lysandra resetting. But something you might is that they have TP. No, Rogue pulled to the turret as the first blood's going to be there. That is not good for the Auto Shadow bot lane. You cannot allow for Error to get in 5-5, so no ultimates yet unlocked. Yeah, I was literally about to say is that those burn skills have been working out nicely so far this game.
Oh no, oh no.
You hate to see it. Does he get the dragon? He does not. He goes down with smite, so that means that it will be a 1v1, and Volley is still level 4, so he's kind of squishy. He needs to be careful.
Oh.
Krusty.
Wow, what a champion.
Oh, okay. Traded over. It's still worth.
I think the black shield was just to stop if the undertow comes through.
Yeah, but
and
it was too late,
looking for another burn skewer. Ooh, taking so much damage. He's gonna fall.
Forces someone to flash out the final cost, the auto attack, the follow through, the ignite, the DPS. It's not enough. Just able to survive.
Just barely and playing on the edge. Meanwhile, top side, that is an ulti on the ambiguous. He does have that potential for a nom. Mid lane gang comes out. He looking for something.
She has the soft ult. Doesn't actually go for it actually. Instead, Nasty finally getting that successful gank that he was looking for. We've had 2v1, and that's going to be Wonder Blitz finding himself the first kill but for himself, but may just pay the price as Deadly Bubble's not joining the fight. So Jen going to be the player that does end up picking up. Unfortunately, the fight not done yet for Order the Shadows. Viego looking to do as much as he can, ends up dying so fast. A single track in a really bad spot, and the Alpha Strike enough. As Order the Shadow able to find themselves 2 kills, 1 top, 1 bottom. No, you're too close for that curtain call, friend. But it looks like it does not matter as it was just merely a distraction. It's going to be Mott now joining as they do end up finding themselves the double. So Error, bottom. Mott still has that soft glacial prison as he uses the popcorn to get away. Does he survive? He doesn't even need it.
That's a dead Krusty.
Oh no. Oh no, Krusty Ghost, where have you gone to, friend?
You got outplayed by the popcorn. It is what it is.
Jelly finally finding that dash to the turret. Unfortunately, no first objective, no first brick. Black shield. Beautifully played Pendragon. Look to try bait out as Heisman as the new focus. They switch in, hit through, and it works out like a charm. So Pendragon, knowing the matchup, knows he has to wait for the black shield to drop.
That Jin curtain calling, and not their most ideal place for the second time.
Oh,
does have a heal. Oh no!
Krusty's having just no success.
Wait.
Oh no.
No,
I take
that's
it
a happy
back.
ghost.
I take it back. Krusty goes huge.
2 more call stacks on that Caitlyn.
Big cash shot. Finding.
Ooh.
Get trap placement. We
That's
do a lot of ace. Ooh, a lot of headshots. There's the combo that we spoke about. That Morgana Caitlyn potential output damage. And we get exactly that. Glacial Prison. Look to try to do as much as he can, but unfortunately not going to find the damage on the Heisman, but does end up taking the volley for the trade, but it's not done yet just yet as Error will look to try and get their way out of this one.
Ambiguous doesn't know and just picks up that kill. Meanwhile, Krusty on the bot side picks up a kill. And top, same thing. We've seen this a few times now. Just some fists and mega big mech.
I was waiting to see where you're going to go with that one. Oh, hello, Pendragon.
Meanwhile, Caitlyn going into the depths there.
Side TP coming through from the side, looking to try and join as Deadly Bubbles. The reposition is going to be there. Krusty ends up paying the price in the form of a death as he's going to pick him up. He's going to put him back down, but in this case, it's going to be Error side victory for the team fight, and that should be Drake number 3 secured. PC is there, but Heisman, oh sorry, Krusty holding the damage from the shadows. That's going to be now Pyke dead, but Pyke reincarnated in the form of Krusty himself, but it does not matter. Big Bear goes boom, and a Rogue goes bye-bye with a flash forward into that double. Nicely played Rogue Destroyer.
They are very happy. This opposing bot side. Order the Shadow again falling a little bit behind in this bot lane mashup. Pyke finding those win skills. Talking of all.
And Dragon block. No!
Friend check. Ooh.
Big fight though, coming through is going to be the final, or the first proper fight as Krusty goes just able to get away with the QSS activation, but Destroyer has had the plans as he does go Rogue man down like you mentioned, so that's going to be needed to take that and self-ult against the collapse, but he just was not there for the communication. Sat was top, and as a result, Order the Shadow getting a free engage. Pyke resets, and he finds 1, does he find 2? He doesn't, the recast is not on the right place. Where's the flicks, where's the aim trainer?
Well,
That's
absolutely.
Oh, you've just been crushed, friend. Set 1v4 like you mentioned, single track, picking up where Pendragon left off, but ends up going almost insanely big, but ends up dying. The majority of the Error side team already big knock up, Ambiguous in the front line, Deadly Bubbles is dead, and Pendragon just not able to be of too much usage. I take it back, but the recast, the double click again, and the double Morgana Black shield into pull. Can't take it on single track as we have the curtain call now joining. Viego dead, volley as well. Set is out of here. Heisman in a decent spot as he does apply the Rogue Shield, Black Shield, but the bindings gonna be right after the Zarya finishes. Go Golden, go Dead, go home. And Ambiguous still looking to try and come through, but Pendragon gonna have beautifully repositioned into the order. The Halo Blaze is gonna be there. In this case, it's gonna be the same repeat of the last game, but different teams. As Rogue is able to destroy Volley, he's out of here as Daily Bubbles force a flash out of the backline. Pendragon the focus, but Cho'Gath looking to try and join as Rogue is so low, but he gets picked up, he gets put back down. He has the flash, he has the moves, the mechanics, did he have the toothpick damage? He does not. Single track, finding himself that ADC slay as the final binding will be there. Single track, finding himself that ADC slay as the final binding will be there, so the trade, but one blitz again, top lane for the split push. Everfrost negated, CC created. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll stop.
very nice rhymes there, but
Kill potential, it does end up finding it. I do not think this Pyke makes it through into the third game if we get there. He's just doing too much work.
you can do that across a wall?
Yep. He's pretty big. He can just reach over at this point. For the reset, unfortunately, finds one. Does he find two? He does not, but the damage is going to be there just enough to try and get Ghost low. But he goes golden, at least Mott does. The resurrection is going to be the fight not done yet for the 2v2. As Pyke not able to find the lockdown Ghost. Do they have any form of Grievous?
Yeah, and
Now forced to go back through mid lane or through top side. Rivers, the blue side TP. 3v1. Big commit. He's trying to get to the Fiora, but Fiora playing it nice and safe. Oh.
wow,
Okay,
first
well
blood
executed.
does finding command, and
Space Bear, but he has no anti-gravity boots as the Black Shield, or the baby cage comes through, but Kassadin gets the dragon and a double. Fiora a little bit late as the Cataclysm is there to lock you in place. Fiora down for Wonder. That is such a massive win in terms of you've accelerated the scale in this mid lane Kassadin win condition for the Shadow, and you can already see that coming through the first Rift Walk into the second Rift Walk. Does he get the third or the damage? No. Yes, he does look for the dive action. He finds it, the silence, the solo, the mid lane machine now 3-0. Over the AD carry, Mott a little bit late for the baby cage attempt, and the Black Shield says no, but the fight not done just yet. The double, the Kassadin going massive as we may just see the third attempt at a kill. He does, but gets traded back over, so a little bit of gold back in the pocket for Era's top lane. We do have their own attempt available just yet unneeded at least. Rogue repositions, looking for the damage. The last order for the passive, kicks in, Bubbles looking to try and pull trigger. Oh, the shield drop went off just as the connection's there. The beautifully placed blitz prioritizing support into AD carry. Ends up putting flash, but otherwise pretty clean forming. Heisman.
Fiora?
Oh, flashes into the binding, but it's not going to be enough to get to where he comes back as Ambiguous is out of mana. The tree is looking to try and shut him down. Fiora may just be able to walk away. The Winions, the Costas, not there as we do have the Mastery Taunt. We have the Mastery Taunt into the Rogue Destroyer down rotation. So, Bear v Tree.
Ambiguous? Who's winning?
The passive though. Rogue? Rogue? No! What? Mastery Taunt.
Mastery Taunts across. Literally did kill the bear.
It's almost unbearable.
Nice. Oh.
Krusty, Everfrost. Looking for the re-engage. Second Rift Walk. He's not getting out of this one, unfortunately, friend. Even if you had Flash, you're not going to be able to walk away from the Kassadin. He's destroyed on the other hand, getting kited up pretty hard as Maokai does brings in the roots, but there's going to be the volley bear into Javan. Death, in this case, Vigor actually the one finding that kill as the fight does continue. Double for the tree. He's not able to keep his friend alive, unfortunately. As we do have Ambiguous now, the new focus. 5 in game 1, 5 in game 2 to a 10 in game 3. This is his game, it seems.
Yeah, definitely.
Malta was already dead, and Sword of the Shadow just quite easily able to clean it up. And they cast it in disrespect, saying no.
Oh, talking about like we have a fire breaking out here, Ambiguous getting caught. Who's catching who?
Jarvan blocking the Cataclysm in, so Kassadin looking to try and join from the bot side. A little bit late on the TP, but he's going to be here now. Multiple was already dead. All of the Shadow doesn't even need the cast at this point, as they're just able to run them through